Let's talk about that for a minute.
You could take it a step further.
It's a male fantasy. I want to say it's Chicharone.
Can't believe
It's,
I don't look like Bane anymore when I'm going to be talking.
I swear to God, it felt like I was drinking this beer for 2 hours.
A lot thicker than some people used to.
it's a scam.
Did it touch you? Did it touch you?
Yeah, it made me feel things.
Perfect sandwich. It's beautiful.
Hey, welcome back to the sandwich.
What's up? It's been a bit.
It has been
2
a minute.
weeks.
2 miserable long weeks.
Yes.
We were all busy with things and stuff.
Yeah. We were
Life.
busy with things and stuff.
I forget
Damn
what I
life.
did. Why did we miss the last one? What happened?
Shit. What?
Probably my fault.
Probably.
I think you ended up having to work like
Oh yeah, that's right.
on a weekend or
That
whatever.
sounds about right.
How's
Better
everyone
be
doing
getting
today?
paid for that.
Everyone doing good?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been living the bachelor life since Thursday, so it's just been me and all my kids. So
Perfect.
I've been just taking care of things.
You're like,
getting people washed up and fed, and yeah, it's a hard man. Being a single parent is tough in this day and age. I'll tell you what, it's expensive too to feed everybody. Wow, I'm gonna barbecue today though. I went to Costco yesterday by myself, like a big boy. Used my Costco membership and bought like fucking all this pork. I'm gonna barbecue that shit up today. A little
Nice.
worried that it's getting a little cloudy here in Southern
for
California.
like $9.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Adjust my mic here.
Yeah, I just figured out I was not recording that whole time.
Oh,
but
really?
anyway, hi, welcome to the John Sandwich.
Hey, we totally didn't
Yeah.
just make an intro and realize it's not recording.
Yeah, well, for some
Yeah,
reason, I
did
don't know
not
why,
happen.
it started, I was like, why are we not like recording here? And then it was recording from the computer speakers.
Oh,
Computer
funny.
mic. That would have sucked.
That would have sucked.
That would have been a terrible
Horrible
mistake.
time.
sound.
Did that
But now
change
we're
the
in
audio
your
quality?
ear.
I guess it does sound a little different.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, welcome back to the sandwich.
Yeah,
It's been a
welcome
minute.
Yeah.
It did take a minute.
All we were talking about is discussing why we didn't do it last week and how we don't remember
Yeah.
why. Probably because I had to work.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that sounds about right. Sorry, I'm a little slow going. I just need to finish this beer so you get some,
Right. But we're here now.
I need to
we
finish
are.
this coffee so I can start on a beer.
yeah, I just drank my coffee. So, you know,
That's a great sound for our viewers.
Yeah.
They love that.
Oh, no.
they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
This is ASMR now.
Actually,
This is
so
the ASMR episode.
since we last talked, there has been a lot going on. Like almost probably too much to cover in this whole podcast, but there's a lot going on.
Well, let's start off on what we started talking about when I walked in the door. WWE, it sucks now. Why?
Yeah. Well, their storylines are shit. They are
What's the storyline that was shit?
all of them.
So many.
All of them.
Just
There's
Raw or
Raw,
Pick a card, any
SmackDown, like everything is bad right now, and they're actually losing viewers in a bad way too.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I just like the build. It started before WrestleMania. The build to WrestleMania was crap,
Mm-hmm.
and ever since then they just haven't picked up. Like,
What do you think it is? Do you think it's just because of the no competition? Like, fucking, they don't have a reason to try?
I just think
bad
it's
writing.
I think it's just status quo, man. They know they're WWE. They're gonna make their money, and they don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
Like they don't have to be
Yeah.
as engaging.
Doesn't seem like there's
The
any,
market
like,
value is
standout
huge.
stars either. Like bigger than life. Maybe the last big one was probably John Cena, I guess.
Yeah, like he's been the biggest star.
like a
He-
household name. Yeah.
Like a household name is probably the last big star.
and he's done, man.
Yeah.
like he's on movies. He's getting
Yeah.
older. You know, he knows that his legacy's behind him in WWE.
Yeah. Time to move on.
Who's the next one?
Rocket.
Well, they're really pushing for like Roman Reigns, and
They've been beating that horse for a while.
yeah, you know, they just don't have like, and I think characters that would have the charisma to be able to you know take on that spot, they just bury.
Yeah.
You know, because maybe they're not like the right body type, or they're backstage heat or something like that. There's just, you know, they bury really good characters. And it's just bad.
Why do they have such a hard on for Roman Reigns? And is he like somebody's nephew or?
I mean, he is in some way related to The Rock, but I don't think that really. I don't even think like their blood. They might be just by marriage.
Just both
You
they
know.
have that Samoan blood.
Yeah,
He's from Hawaii.
but you know, I think, and I also think there's a rift between Triple H and Vince McMahon right now.
Really?
Yeah. You know, I think Triple H's product,
Yeah, I heard
NXT?
it's better.
it's better.
Yeah.
Like great wrestling, good storytelling. That's what you want to but like the main roster is shit. There's nothing going on, man. I canceled my WWE subscription.
What?
Like I stopped
Whoa.
watching Raw, stopped watching SmackDown, and I got tired of just watching crap like week in and week out.
Yeah.
Like
Dang.
I know it's wrestling, and everyone's like, "Yeah, wrestling's crap anyway." But there was a point when it was actually good
There was.
and like compelling storylines, and they just don't have that anymore.
larger than life, man.
So what are they doing now? It's just like
I don't know. We just
comedy
stopped watching.
bits.
Oh yeah,
They're just
some
doing
of their
slapstick now?
some of their main like Braun Strowman, like he's a good wrestler, like larger than life, like big. He's kind of like Mark Henry. He was a strong man before he was a wrestler.
Yeah.
But he's he has pretty good mic work. It's not great, but he has an awesome character. And like last year, everyone loved him. He was one of those natural baby faces, and the crowd just naturally got behind him and loved him. But they buried him with shit storylines and never really pushed him. They were tried to focus so hard on Roman Reigns that he just got. And then he was in comedy
Fuck
bits.
you, Roman Reigns.
Well, Roman Reigns isn't a bad guy. It's not his fault.
I hate him.
No, I hate it.
But and then he
Yes,
just
his
got
fault.
buried behind comedy bits, and no one wants to see.
Yeah, let him
You know?
have some dignity.
So it's not good anymore. I stopped watching. No
Mm.
more. AEW, like hopefully they pose a threat, and then they have.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some of the
They're the
best
Bellator.
indie stars. Like they have Kenny Omega, which he was huge in Japan, Ring of Honor, just great indie. Chris
Sounds
Jericho
familiar.
is pretty much helping run the place.
Yeah.
You got the Young Bucks with the Bullet Club and all that. So I know Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes, like Gold Dust. They're
Yeah.
both working for the company.
Oh, nice.
Damn.
And a lot of these WWE stars right now want to defect and go over there because it's kind of like we'll pay you more and we'll have a better product. Kind of like they're pulling the WCW strategy.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole UFC Bellator thing going on right now. Like the indie channel just is better and managed better.
Yeah.
And more viewable.
Yeah.
It's not just a bunch of political crap
Yeah.
and stuff. You can have actual fights, and what I love about them is they post their fights on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like it's just
I like
they don't
UFC.
have so much overhead.
I don't mind it, but I don't like how they run things. Like I don't like how it's pretty much real WWE. Like of course there's not the storylines, but they have the championship belt, but that number one guy is not facing the number one guy.
Yeah,
It's pretty much just booking
Like-
fights to make money.
Yeah.
exactly.
Like
People
in boxing, you could fight and you have to be in that promotion. In boxing, you fight whoever the hell is best in the world.
yeah.
In the world.
You can be
You know?
sure that fighter is going to be the best in the world if
Yeah.
he's
Because
like
each fighter is their
64-0
own
or something.
Each fighter is their own promotion. Maybe they work for like Golden Boy, or maybe they work for another promotion. But these promotions get together and split money, and makes fight happens. For whoever in the world.
That's cool.
But UFC, you have to be in UFC, so you're not fighting the best in the world. You're fighting maybe the best in UFC, or you're fighting whatever's going to make money for UFC.
Yeah, whatever's the biggest promotion that they can pull off.
Yeah, why do you think Conor McGregor's probably not going to fight anymore, man? You know how much fucking money he made from fighting Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah.
Like he made more money than he will ever make in UFC.
Yeah, that was the
off
biggest
one fight.
marketing sham I've ever seen. Is their little rivalry that was supposedly going on? Like both of them were gonna come out with like tens of millions of dollars. You think they were really that
More
fucking
like hundreds
upset?
of millions of
Yeah.
dollars.
Yeah, I was trying to be modest.
I think Floyd
Go low.
Mayweather made like $100 million off that, and Conor
Jeez.
McGregor made like 40.
Yeah, and it was the shittiest fight I've ever seen in my life.
Conor McGregor probably
was
makes
so
$1
boring.
million per fight in UFC, and he just made 2 years ago $40 million for like 5 or 6 rounds.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
the crappiest fight ever.
Would you fight Floyd Mayweather for
$100 million?
Yeah,
Oh fuck yeah!
I would. I mean, that's probably
If you had a
enough
doctor on hand,
yeah, it's enough to cover your hospital bills.
I just gotta cover my face and let the ref stop.
I
it.
don't mind. I don't mind being embarrassed. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Did you see that Bellator MVP fight?
I did not.
This one guy, you may have seen his highlights. His name is MVP, something Venom Page. His last name is Page. He knocked someone out after caving in his orbital cuff
Jesus.
or orbital bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then afterwards threw a pokeball at him as if like he's knocked out, so it's time to capture him.
Oh my god.
So he's kind of a douche, but his last fight, he got knocked the fuck out. He got hit with the cleanest hit to the jaw I've ever seen in my life. You didn't even see his neck reel. He just got like the guy just pushed a button, the knockout button on his jaw, and he just fell limp to the floor, and it was the most satisfying thing I've ever seen.
Then he yelled "World Star" and
You should.
While he was showboating too, so
Oh,
that
really?
made it all the sweeter. It was beautiful.
You should check out.
looks like our plane is here.
Fly me.
It's always here early. I swear to God.
Fly so low.
You should
I'm
check out
firing my pilot.
Vasyl Lomachenko. He's a Russian boxer, and that guy is fucking incredible.
He's a Russian boxer.
Like Ivan Drago, incredible.
Whatever he
Like
punches,
better than
he
Ivan
kills.
Drago. Incredible. Like he's better. Dude, this guy is fucking incredible. And he usually fights for free on like not for free, but on free TV like ESPN.
Oh,
Nice.
Because he's just like, I'd rather fight, twice a year than once every 2 years. And,
Yeah.
Is that how often they fight? Jesus.
They don't fight very often.
No.
Yeah, so that's why, in a nutshell, in a long way, like I do not watch WWE anymore. It's just I got tired of it,
was
man.
Just better before, like even going back with like the UFC stuff. Like you ever watch like early UFC? Where
Oh, yeah.
it's
well,
like,
it was anybody against
it was
anybody,
just
man.
Gladiator.
Man, that was madness. That was like the
Like
best.
I remember watching someone like just fucking in the balls punching people.
Yeah.
Like
It was brutal, man.
yeah,
You remember when they didn't even have gloves?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Wild.
just
They still have like a lot of those on YouTube
naked
and stuff.
fist
It's crazy.
fights.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Kimbo Slice became famous.
Mhm.
Just straight up.
Did you know that guy died?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did he? Oh, that's
Died
right.
of heart attack or something.
yeah, something like that.
That sucks, man.
Speaking of which, have you guys seen? There's a show on Viceland. I don't really watch cable that much, but I forget where I found out about it. But it's called the Dark Side of the Ring. And what it is it tells like all these stories about all these WWF stories, like from back in the day. Like it covers the Montreal screw job, just all this tragic stuff. Like the first episode is the story of the Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth, and it kind of goes through like their whole. It's like pretty tragic and stuff. She died. I did not know that she died. I knew that she died of like an overdose, but I did not know that it was while she was banging Lex Luger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I've seen some of those. Not seen them, but I've seen them like on there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, in your honest opinion, like we're gonna get a little bit off subject.
Oh,
I mean, I guess
yeah.
it's on subject. Do you think the Montreal Screwjob was a fucking real, or was it just all a play,
I mean, I want to say
all an act?
it was real. They have like there's like multiple documentaries on it too. It all happened when, well, I don't know, because it happened while coincidentally Bret Hart was filming this Wrestling with Shadows documentary too. And it's like I don't know if you've ever seen that, but there's one point where Bret Hart's wife is yelling at Triple H, but she's like calling him Triple H and not like, so that kind of seems odd. Like when she call him by his real name,
Yeah.
she's like, no, it's Triple H. You knew the whole time.
I mean, I know this is like conspiracy theory stuff.
What is
But like this is like, if this was a work, it'd be the biggest work in history.
Mm-hmm.
Like
so? What is the Montreal Screwjob?
So,
Tell me.
So Bret Hart. So there was
The
a
Hitman Hart.
Yeah,
Yep.
going back to the Monday Night Wars, there was a point.
this
where,
is almost pre Monday Night War.
yeah. Oh yes, I think
Yeah,
it was.
It was.
WCW
Sounds
was
like
kind of
one.
like trying to build up, and what they were doing was like they were offering WWF talent like all this money to come jump ship and come over.
Guaranteed money too.
Yeah, guaranteed money. I think at this point, I think Razor, Ramon, or Scott Hall and Kevin Nash.
I think that was
already went
before
over,
them.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like 95, 96.
So Bret Hart asked Vince McMahon for some money. I think Bret Hart's star was kind of already declining too. They were ready. Like Shawn Michaels was coming up, so they wanted to probably give him the belt. So Bret Hart took the offer from WCW. He leading up to like his last match. They were trying to figure out because like wrestling kind of rules are that you have to lose your last match.
Oh, yeah.
So Bret Hart was the champion, and he did not want to give up the belt, I guess, because like it was like in Calgary.
He didn't want to in Montreal.
Yeah,
He-
Montreal.
He did not want to give up the belt in his home city.
Yeah. And so he was like, just do however, like, let's, I don't know what he exactly wanted. I guess he wanted to win. Beat Shawn Michaels, and the next day he wanted to hand over the belt, was what he assumed that how it was supposed to go.
Okay.
So, they go and they're wrestling and shit, and Bret Hart's signature move is the sharpshooter.
Of course.
So Shawn Michaels gets Bret Hart into the sharpshooter, and Vince McMahon has him ring the bell early.
Yeah.
So like insult to injury, not only
So he lost.
not only did he lose in his hometown, but he lost to his own signature move. Pretty brutal.
And then like Bret Hart was like spitting on Vince McMahon, and they were
he
like talking.
fucking writes WCW in the air.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like Vince McMahon goes in the locker room afterwards, and he does come out with a black eye. So I assume that it was real.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's the best kind of reality television is the reality.
That's why the Monday Night Wars, that's where it was like starting to heat up, and that's why wrestling was so fucking good back then, man. Because before WCW, WWE was, or WWF, or
It's like
WWE,
real fake.
it was
fiction.
very, very campy. Like you'd have clowns and dentists, and like they had like these extravagant
The dumpster Drosy.
Yeah, exactly. Extravagant.
They had characters.
Like they were characters. They weren't real people. They were just like fucking dentists and whatever. What have not. It's just stupid shit.
That's fucking crazy.
And then WCW came
Pour
around,
me one with a lot of head on it.
and
I'll
give you
some
head.
and pretty much kind of the WCW what Christopher Nolan did with Batman and made it more real.
Yeah. People were using their real names. So like Razor Ramon was like this Cuban guy, and then he went over to WCW. He still had the whole Razor Ramon shtick, but he went as Scott Hall and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they had real names, they were real people.
Kevin Nash was not Diesel anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, that was his name before?
Yeah,
I always knew him
Diesel.
as Kevin Nash.
Big Daddy Cool.
Big Daddy Cool. That's right. So like it really, without WCW, the wrestling industry right now would be just a comic book joke.
Yeah. So hopefully,
Vince McMahon's kind of a master of making fake things seem real and real things seem fake.
But like at first, like I don't know if he was a master without WCW there to.
yeah, I think they were pretty close to fucking throwing in the towel to WCW. They got there.
Yeah, well, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash pretty much ruined WCW. Well, WCW ruined itself too because they gave so much creative freedom
Yeah.
to their wrestlers that they'd be like, no, I'm not going to fight on this night, and I'm not going to lose the belt. Like the wrestlers had creative control.
Mhm.
And when you have every wrestler having creative control, well, of course, this wrestler doesn't want to fight this wrestler, and this wrestler doesn't want to lose.
Yeah.
So there was no upper management telling these wrestlers, okay, you have to lose tonight.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
That doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, well, that's
You can't have a story.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, they, at the end, the NWO was like the biggest thing for fucking years, and then all of a sudden, the whole roster was NWO.
Yeah.
All right, so what's the big deal? And then the NWO went to NWO Latina, NWO Lone Wolf, and NWO Regular, and then WCW. So it was just like this big, huge, like their welcome was definitely worn, and they didn't think of anything new and creative afterwards.
And then I think
They did too well.
with the Montreal screw job, it kind of pulled the curtain back a little bit. That because before nobody really knew Vince McMahon owned the company. They had like I forget who, Jack Tunney was like the president of the WWF or WWE. So nobody really knew. Well, people knew that Vince owned it, but it wasn't really like part of the story. And this with the Montreal screw job, everybody saw it like he was like ring the damn bell and stuff. That's kind of where this Mr. McMahon character was born.
Yeah.
And out of that,
Wow. Do you think, out of that is when he thought, maybe I can make something out
I
of
could
this
just
for
be
myself?
like this ultimate heel.
yeah, and then throw in fucking a Stone Cold Steve Austin working man taking on fucking his boss.
Yeah.
I think that
There were some great storylines.
I think-
There was, man.
Vince and Steve Austin, they probably saved that company. I think that whole fucking
Steve
Well, that
Austin
and The
was
Rock.
everyone's
and The Rock.
favorite.
And The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock. Well, and the whole Degeneration X.
Yeah, that
like,
was
like
awesome.
honestly,
Yeah, those are some good times.
those
dude.
were, man. You know,
That was the
like,
golden age.
It was the
The
golden
Monday
age.
Night Wars saved WWE. It almost broke it.
Yeah.
But those were the best times in wrestling. Like you couldn't get away with half the shit now that what they did back then.
Would you think that's like the best era? Because I think that's probably
Probably.
the most superstars came out of that time. I think.
Yeah, I would say right now, I would say the wrestling itself is better.
Mhm.
Like the stunt work.
Like the stunt work and the athleticism, but the storytelling back then
Mhm.
was just it was all attitude. It was all let's push the boundaries of what we could get away with television.
Yeah, and I think probably incorporating more realism into it, getting rid of those little characters and fucking having like Degeneration X show up at the WCW, like stuff like that.
Well, and then
Awesome.
WCW announcing because Raw used to be pre-taped. It wasn't live like it is now, and so WCW would watch that shit, and then they'd announce like all their matches. Like, oh, you don't need to go see them. Well, we already know the outcome. It's this.
It's awesome. Good times.
So that's why they do it live.
Yeah, it's great. It was a good time in wrestling. But right now, it's just
Yeah,
it's crap.
my dad always tells this story about my brother that there was one time he was like a freshman in high school or something. He said that he told my dad that he didn't do homework on Mondays because that was wrestling night.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way you're going to make me do homework on that day. And he always has that story ready to go.
Speaking of which, Steve
all right.
Austin.
But now that you guys say that, I kind of realize like, oh shit, that was the time.
It was.
That
the
was
time.
like,
Monday nights were my favorite night of the week, man. For
yeah, that was like
years.
98 to 98 on.
Yeah.
we should
I was super young.
We should get the Stone Cold beer next time we're here.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can pick it up. He has some kind of beer.
Nice.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Broken Skull IPA. I'll stop by the.
Let's see.
I'll see if I can find it.
I'll pull it up so the audience can see that.
Yeah.
That was the finishing move I always chose on the Raw or SmackDown games. Was the Stone Cold Stunner because that was always the most powerful one. Did you ever play those games?
Oh yeah.
It was that, and like other ones. I don't know how they decided this, but like the Rock Bottom was only double A, but the Stone Cold Stunner, that one's quad A.
Yeah.
You should see some of the.
The Power Bomb, quad A.
Well-
Sharpshooter.
It's it's really a two-person job though. Like
Oh, yeah.
if you get like somebody selling it, that Stone, there's nothing better, more satisfying than a Stone Cold Stunner, I think. But you have to have that.
You should
person
see
that
They
some of
always
the
flip on their head.
You
and
should
shit.
see some of the Rocks like sales of the Stone Cold
Yes.
Stunner.
Oh my
It
God,
was
it's amazing.
So awesome. I wonder if I could play one without getting in trouble.
That'd be awesome. Maybe not.
I don't know.
Oh, damn it.
If I were a betting man, I would say no.
But there's commentary behind it.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah, I guess just mute it.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Let's try it out.
If they do, they
Yeah.
do. The most they can do is demonetize.
Damn, we're not getting paid for this anyway. So.
Yeah. So-
Yeah.
I guess we can
So
do
you
whatever.
know
Yeah,
what
we
we're
can do
saying is
whatever we
true.
want.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want.
no rules.
That's true.
I just gotta.
Might as well do it now.
Yeah.
It's better to ask for.
Well, I could always edit out the video and just take this part out.
Do it.
I will.
I mean, yeah,
We're gonna watch some stuff.
we'll be fine on iTunes.
So you guys want to see the Stone Cold IPA first, and then some flops of Stone Cold Stunner flops?
Sure. I'll
Yeah.
just throw up the flops.
Okay.
I'll find that beer. What is that?
It's not just Bud Light. What was his
What's that?
beer
What-
of choice that
Total
he?
Liquor? Was that
Coors. I think it was
there?
Coors.
It was
Yeah.
always Coors. That sucks. I hate Coors. I don't think it's good. This though, this beer is good.
It's nice beer.
I don't know what it is. Is it still Mac and Jack's?
Yep.
Mac and Jack's. It's good.
It is good.
That'd be an amazing, like commercial line on the Super Bowl. Just for a beer,
that?
all you have to say is "it's good" because that's also, it's good, but also like field goal. It's good.
It's good. That's a pretty good tag.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of tags on the way over here today. I was like, God, what would be like a good sign off, something to say. And I was like, maybe like when life slaps you in the face with its big fat salami, make a sandwich. Something like that. When
It's
life
like the
gives you
opposite
bologna,
of life gives you lemons.
make a sandwich. Laters, something like that.
Life fucks you up.
I'll keep thinking. I'll try a nice sign off today.
All right, you guys want to see
Give me
this shit?
3 and we'll decide.
Top five.
five?
The Still Cold Sun.
Yes. Let's take a trip down memory lane.
Look at that background.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Should we just call out? Give us that. Look at that. Oh my god.
Oh, these cells are awesome.
Miller Lite.
Kippy.
Beautiful. Is that The Rock?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Look at that. The air he got on there, dude. That's amazing.
Randy Orton.
I think I remember that episode.
I think I know which one this is. Oh yeah.
That's
Remember when The Rock... That's why The Rock is successful. He gives it all he's got every single time. Just with anything he does. If he's in the cheesiest movie in the fucking universe, he just goes at it.
I think he's probably like one of the I think he'll go down as one of the greatest freaking just personalities in history.
Oh yeah, he's one of the highest paid actors
He's just
ever.
he's so likable.
I think he was at one point the highest paid actor
You
ever.
can put him in anything. I buy it. I believe it.
I'm in.
Yep. He was awesome. He still is awesome.
Have you seen the trailer to Hobbs and Shaw?
Yes.
It was in the beginning of Endgame.
Whole time I was like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's fucking
but I'll
crazy.
see it. This looks amazing.
What really got me is how he goes back to his home in Hawaii, I assume, and they have like I don't know what it's called. I don't want to be a bigot or just totally I don't want to say it wrong or whatever, but there's like
Sorry, pull your brown card. Pull your brown card right now.
it's like a festival where you yell a lot. I don't know what it's called, but they do that and while also fighting bad guys with guns.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like a Samoa
Something.
You yell a bunch and then
Samoan.
the person feels really good about themselves when people yell at them.
Really?
It's like saying you did really good. You're cool.
I have no idea. What we're
But
talking
in
about.
like Samoa.
But yeah, we need something like that here in America, I think.
Yeah. The equivalent would be like for a white person would be like a good
Like a
job,
pat on
son. But in Hawaii they do
Good
whole
job,
thing.
Chip. You tussle that hair.
Excellent work, Chet. Yeah, it looks fucking ridiculous. And they just have this fight
Yeah.
with all of the Rock's, like, I assume relatives, which, knowing the Rock's ability to, he's a pretty powerful guy at this point, so I'm assuming that's his actual relatives.
Oh, I'm sure.
That he just wanted to get into a movie.
Yeah, my wife must be coming.
Looks like Mary's Landing.
Yeah.
Her and her pilot lessons.
I saw that movie Skyscraper with The Rock in it. It was on.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. It was like Die Hard kind of. There's one part where he's like, I'm just like a normal everyday guy. I like my beer cold and my wings hot. I'm like, you don't eat no fucking wings, Rock. I follow you on Instagram. Have you seen like his eating habits? Fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, just
Fish.
6,000
Yeah.
calories.
And then he has like one cheat day where he eats like fucking like 36 pancakes and shit.
And it's just like a stack of
Insane.
bacon. It's
Yeah.
comically huge.
Dude, that guy's fucking big. He's even bigger than when he was wrestling.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
way bigger.
Yeah.
Man.
Easily.
It's nuts.
I think we pulled up a couple weeks ago before and after The Rock. I mean, I guess we could pull another one up.
But have you seen him as a teenager? He was fucking huge then too.
Let's just admire wrestlers' bodies for the next
Yes.
Triple H, there's another one
Sex
too.
sells.
Where he's like even bigger now than he used to be.
Triple H too?
Yeah.
How old is he?
I mean, he's been huge for a while, but like back when he first started out, when he was like the rich Hunter Hearst Helmsley, he wasn't that big.
he was the what?
He was like a foppish type character where he was like almost
He
was like like he was like also almost like English, I think, when he first started out. He was like, and he used to like curtsy and bow.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, look
You remember that,
look
John?
at Young Rock.
Dude, it's freaking
No, he's-
huge.
Yeah, look at that.
From the Pebble to
I would
the
look
Rock.
like that too if all I had to do was work out all day. That's all I'm saying.
If that was your job, was
That
to
was
look
my
fit.
job. I was I was also watching. I watched The Dark Knight Rises again last night.
Great movie.
Tom Hardy's fucking huge too, man.
All right, so I will say yes, I do remember Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yes.
And since you just talked about,
That's why he's
Batman.
called Triple H.
Yeah. And he was
Hunter
like,
Hearst
"Oh,
I had no idea.
Hunter
He used to be
Hearst
a-
Helmsley."
he used to be a proper Englishman.
Yeah.
So is he English in real life?
No.
No, he wore like chaps. He had like a little ponytail thing with like a ribbon in it. He looked like
Almost like a
He looked
a
like the
horse
bad guy
rider.
from The Patriot.
yeah. He looked like the Beast when he turns into a human at the end of Beauty and the Beast. Is kind of what. Yeah, I think
He looks like Oscar,
like
uh,
English royalty.
Yes,
like Lucius Malfoy.
Like a prince.
he was like snooty, and he was yeah.
What
That's
the
what-
fuck?
Yeah.
That's why he had the pedigree.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
What?
And then I don't know what happened. Like he,
I had no idea.
I think he didn't.
I thought he
change
was a
really.
hard ass coming out of the womb.
It wasn't until he got into DX, I think, that his whole character changed.
Yeah, it went from Hunter Hearst Helmsley to
Yeah.
Triple H.
Shawn Michaels might have coined that. Triple H.
I've always wondered what Triple H came from. I assumed he just
It was like
pulled it out of a hat and he was like,
It-
"That's my name."
it was like a real clique, I guess. Like they were all friends. I think it was Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, X-Pac, and
X-Pac.
yeah, they were all like a real
Triple
like
H,
yeah,
yeah.
real backstage crew.
Well,
Suck
it was
it.
called the Click.
Yeah, the clique.
Well, I know that Vince McMahon got super pissed off at like their last show together because they were all like hugging and totally breaking kayfabe. Because Scott Hall.
It was like their
And Kevin
last
Nash went
match.
to
They all came
WCW.
out and like hugged in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Bad guys and good guys. And,
Mm.
yeah.
Know your enemies.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Stop that.
I think they call it the curtain call in WWF lore.
Yeah.
The
Right,
curtain
yeah.
call when you break character.
No, just that's what that incident's called. It's like famous.
Oh,
Yeah.
they always got a name for everything.
Right?
There's so much wrestler lingo that I just have no idea about. Like heel, I just learned that like a few episodes ago.
Babyface.
Yeah.
Yeah, babyface too. Just
Kayfabe.
face, kayfabe.
Lots of terms, man. Selling.
Yeah.
Bumps.
Jobbers.
Yep.
So much lingo.
There it is. We should have been wrestlers, man.
I know, yeah. Hell yeah.
We can do that.
I don't know about that. A little past my prime.
Is there wrestler insurance?
I don't know about that.
Like you were jumping through a table. That's covered.
No, they're freaking.
I think that, honestly, I think they're all subcontractors
Yeah.
in WWE. So
Yeah.
they have to pay all of their own medical expenses and stuff.
Like crazy.
That's what John Oliver said.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bit on his that they were subcontractors and they like have no rights really.
No, I mean, they're just, the only rights they have is what's in their contract to do. I mean, maybe in their contract as being, maybe they're just paid as subcontract employees. Maybe they still have like a universal WWE healthcare. I don't know, but like, I don't think, it's not like the NFL right now. There's not a players union,
Yeah.
to help them out with like those type of issues. So
Really is fascinating. Like I'm addicted to wrestling documentaries, really. Just going behind the curtain stuff. It's fucking fascinating.
it's crazy what these guys and women have put their bodies through to entertain.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think wrestling is for just redneck hicks and the uneducated masses and all that. But honestly, like, wrestling is a big, huge work in itself.
Yeah.
Like, I think to completely understand wrestling and what's going on, you really have to. I mean, yes, it is a soap opera for men or whatever, but I don't think it's as uneducated as it used to be. Like the populace.
Mm-hmm.
I think back in like the 80s and when it was pretty much like Southern wrestling and this and that and it was just a lot of blading and all that, just like
There's another one, blading. Is that
Yeah.
what you said?
Just like they used to like have razor blades and stuff. So like when they want
Oh,
to do
yeah.
blood, they cut like a lot of these old wrestlers.
They have the
Fucking-
scars on
Yeah,
their forehead.
fucked up, dude.
So I think it used to be for the uneducated masses, but I think the audience and people alike, in order to grow, you have to expand your viewership and your audience. So they've obviously done that. You know, they've made it more athletic instead of just big dumb hulks running around.
Yeah.
You know, they made the wrestlers, you know, a lot of them are a lot smarter, a lot more educated. They could articulate everything very well.
Yeah.
You know,
So it's like just it's really different stuff. Vince McMahon's, genius, but also like a tyrant and stuff. Like before, he bought out all these other companies. It used to be like territories and stuff. So it was like all these different wrestling promotions everywhere. You kind of went through, stole all their talent, put these people out of business. Same thing with WCW. I mean, how awesome is that to be able to buy out your competition, like own it?
yeah.
Yeah, that was like a storyline that didn't go anywhere either, though. Like, they tried to make it where like Shane McMahon was the one that bought WCW and try to keep it like that. Didn't really end up going anywhere.
No, I think people just, you know, I think Vince McMahon definitely wanted to bury WCW.
Yeah.
You
And he
know,
did it.
He did it.
It's pretty much the story of The Dark Knight Rises, really. Where,
Keeps coming back to that.
Or yes, it is. So peace has cost Vince McMahon his strength. Victory has defeated you. That's what.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good times create weak men,
Yep.
and bad times create strong men.
So hopefully this competition will shake things up a bit and things will start getting interesting again.
Yeah, you know, hopefully.
Yeah, and it goes through
Till then, I'm not going to watch.
the leaps and troughs,
But
peaks and troughs.
so crazy. So this is completely off subject what we're talking about right now.
Let's change it.
But
anyway.
did you hear
Game of Thrones.
that Avengers Endgame pretty much stole their plot from Star Trek Voyager?
Enlighten me.
The last episode of Star Trek Voyager is called Endgame, and is pretty much the
Yes.
exact same plot as Avengers Endgame.
So, is there a time skip
Yep.
and then they go back in time
Yep.
afterwards?
Yep.
Really?
It's crazy. I mean,
What?
you could probably link anything to Star Trek. Really.
But I mean,
Star
Star
They've
Trek
had a lot of
It
episodes.
was
It's like
it
Simpsons.
was called
Star Trek did it
Endgame
first.
though.
That's
it was called
crazy.
Endgame.
Does
Star
Disney
Trek did it
own the
first.
rights to that
No.
episode?
Not yet. I'm sure they will
Yeah, sure.
eventually.
Speaking of Star Trek, I have
You
started
have
watching
Discovery?
It's
How is
fucking
it?
amazing.
How far did you get into it?
I'm about 5 episodes away from being done with season 2.
Oh, nice. Is that'll be all caught up then?
All
So
caught
2
up, yeah.
seasons? Okay.
And it is amazing. I'm really upset at myself that I didn't just fucking go pay the money and watch Star Trek Discovery because it's amazing.
What is it on?
CBS All Access?
Yeah. How much is it again?
I don't know. I'm not paying for it.
Oh, you're not?
No.
I'm so
Free trial?
Pirate.
Oh, nice. I'm such a freaking.
John Man is paying for it.
I'm so privileged that I have CBS All Access, and I don't even know how much it costs. That's how awesome I am.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Honestly, it's definitely a different take on Star Trek, but it's
Is it-
great.
Yeah.
How is
Like-
it a different take?
Is it more like of a?
How would you
The
describe?
trailers are all. They look like it's pretty like action packed.
It's not 100% action packed, but for
looks
one,
like JJ Star Trek.
for one, they have a budget. For two, they have a whole story arc throughout the whole season. It's not just episodic,
Okay.
Nice.
which is cool. Last night I just watched one where it did the This Week in Star Trek,
Uh-huh.
and it was from the first episode of TOS with
Oh,
Christopher
really?
Pike, and they had like the previews of that episode.
Wow.
And it like they went back and then like referenced like the species that they met in
Oh, funny.
like the first episode of TOS, which
That's
was
crazy.
amazing.
Nice.
Christopher Pike.
That
in
really
this
got
is-
your nerd boner going.
Oh, dude, I was like, conk.
Come on.
Boing.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. Christopher Pike in this. When I first saw the Enterprise in Discovery, I was like,
That's amazing.
yeah, it's
Isn't
amazing.
Spock in there too, or is that just?
I'm just getting to the point where Spock is in it.
Spork.
Spork.
Spork
That was
is
funny.
here.
That was a funny flub.
Did you see? Oh, I think you sent it to me. Yeah, the logo for Picard
Yep.
and the screenshot.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Look
back.
at the card. Yeah.
I'll definitely watch that for sure.
Oh yeah.
It makes sense because in Star Trek world, do people even die?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like they can get killed, but isn't there technology so advanced that an old person can just live forever?
No.
No, I thought that
No.
was the thing.
No.
Well,
I thought they were like technologically
I'm-
perfect.
I'm-
if you have a red shirt, then your
No,
mortality rate's significantly higher.
what if you have
with
a
red
yellow
shirt.
shirt?
And the yellow shirt is command, so you do a little bit better.
Mhm.
But what's going to be interesting about this Picard series is you're going to see the events that Spock, when he tried to save Romulus,
Mhm.
in the movies of 2009 J.J. Abrams verse.
So this is all kind of it's still keeping that
So that happened.
okay, yeah.
That happened.
That is canon.
That is canon. But what we're seeing is the events that led to the Kelvin timeline.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we will see the Prime Timeline's version of how that unfolded.
Nice.
And I think, I'm not
I
quite
wish I
sure
knew Star
how.
Trek more.
Because the last episode of TNG kind of it jumps to the future, like we already know. So does that mean that none of that happens?
No, it's all canon, man. Like,
Okay.
it's all good.
I wish
So-
I was a Star Trek fan. That sounds really interesting.
Oh my God! How
Sounds
off
way better
point-
than Star Wars, which is like you
Yeah.
get one movie every 2 years.
I mean, it's
Finally,
And they're
someone
not
admits it.
it's
they're
good.
not connected in any way.
Yeah.
It's really hard to, especially now, to. I think it was a lot easier back in the day to have that Star Trek, Star Wars kind of feud, but I think, you do have to kind of give it to. There's more history there with Star Trek.
I mean, we are in
Yeah.
2019,
Yeah.
and they are full on referencing a moment and species and race and going back same not same characters, but same characters in that episode, played by different actors, of course,
Mhm.
but same characters in that episode from 1967.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
How awesome is that?
It is.
That's definitely different from Disney saying all those books
They're
about
gone,
Star
they're
Wars,
done.
they mean nothing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're like fairy tales at this point.
Like, I am thankful because right now is a good time to be a Star Trek fan.
Mhm.
Even like Discovery, they mentioned like Enterprise, like the first, Jonathan Archer, stuff. And it's like, it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
That's good. I like that they're keeping the movies canon too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's taking it a step further. Usually, like, as I said, I'm used to Disney where they're like, nah, none of that.
Right? What's the third?
Just our things.
What's the third JJ movie called? So it was Star Trek.
Beyond?
Star Trek and Beyond. Beyond's fucking
Beyond was
awesome, dude.
amazing. I
It
was
a really
very
good movie.
surprised how good that one was.
You didn't just fucking let Simon Pegg write all that shit from here on out.
Yeah.
Well, see, what I love about it, it is the Kelvin timeline, so it is definitely different stories.
Mm-hmm.
But I love how they all still intermingle with each other. Like the Prime timeline made the Kelvin timeline.
And I think the only thing that Star Trek has ever gotten wrong now, it's done all this great job at
Shut your
predicting
mouth.
the future and stuff, and like fucking, like all the tech that they had back now, it's kind of just seems like, we have it all here. The only thing they ever gotten wrong was the makeup on Picard on that last TNG episode. Like, how fucking off were they? My God, he's an old man. He still looks like, to me, he still looks like fucking Picard from back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't age.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to think that was 20 years ago. Maybe they thought he was going to age more.
Right? They put on all this old man makeup.
They didn't-
It looks awful.
They didn't account for the Earl Grey tea each and every day.
Yes, boy.
Which I bet you he probably drinks every single day.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't put it past him. He's a pretty active man. I follow him on Instagram too. Mm-hmm.
I love how he fosters all those dogs.
Yeah,
He's a good guy, man.
Salt of
he
the
is a
earth.
good guy.
Him and Ian McKellen.
They're like best friends.
I wish
Gay best friends.
wish I could hang out with them one time. You think
Uh,
we'll ever have him
Is
on the
Picard gay?
podcast?
No, he is not. Well,
Ian's gay.
Ian's gay, but Patrick Stewart's not gay. He's actually married.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's just
He's enlightened. He's an
just
enlightened individual.
smart as fuck.
I think he has a pretty good looking wife too.
He be woke.
Yeah, he is woke.
Yep. But he just hangs out with Ian McKellen. Fucking, he does brunch. He drinks beer
Yeah.
and Earl Grey tea.
He's just everywhere.
You think we can have
Salt of
him?
the earth.
You think
Let's
we
have
can-
him on.
Who-
Let's invite
Yeah,
him.
let's invite him here.
Patrick Stewart, we would love to have you on our podcast. I know you probably
Probably in England, Cambridge, wherever you live.
wherever.
If you had
You can fly over.
if you had a choice to have dinner with one of the captains in all the series, like you had to pick one though, who would it be?
Not Bacula for sure. Fucking.
Quantum Leap. Back it was pretty cool.
I would have to say probably either Picard or Janeway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Picard or who?
Janeway.
Not that.
I don't know who that is.
Not that William Shatner wouldn't be a fucking interesting conversation. Probably. I'm sure that he's pretty out there. So.
I mean, it would be interesting, but like, what do you?
Would they be their normal selves, or would they be forced to interact with me? Is the question. Because William Shatner, if he's forced to interact with me, I'd choose him. But I think if he's not forced to interact with me, he's just gonna not give a shit.
I chose Janeway or Picard. Well, for one, they're my two favorite captains. But for two, I full on believe like I could have a real, just honest conversation with those two. Like, and it doesn't have to be about Star Trek. It could be about their careers and how they got to where they are, and just like pick their brains a bit.
Riker's directing one of the Picard episodes too. I forget. Yeah.
Riker's actually directed a few of the Discovery episodes.
Oh, has he?
Yeah,
He's
Jonathan Frakes.
I
big
think
into writing.
I would probably nerdgasm, have a big boner if Riker showed up on the Picard thing. I think just once.
Yeah, just once. Yeah,
Just he's the captain of his own ship. Just give me that.
yeah.
Just give me a glimpse of him in like the board meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would choose Picard. He's legendary. He's an icon. He's not even an actor at this point. He's an icon.
Or Wesley. Fucking if Wesley showed up, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, they're all pretty. They're all cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean,
Yeah, I'd be happy with LeVar Burton.
Give me one. Shut up, Wesley. Just give me one of those. How bad? How much? Fucking what was that with Picard hating Wesley so much? Crazy.
Did he really? Was he like the Meg of Star Trek? Just shut up, Wesley.
pretty much.
Fucking idiot.
I'd like to actually go back and are those on CPS? All Access?
They're all on Netflix, though.
Oh, are they? I'd
Yeah.
like to go back and rewatch TNG.
Yeah.
That was the shit.
Game
of Thrones.
Wait.
Got-
Before we get into Game of Thrones, I have to ask an opinion about the new Batman casting.
Oh,
Robert Pattinson.
I don't think I read a little bit more on it. I don't think it's finalized. It seems like it's between him or who's the guy that plays Beast in the new X-Men movies?
No, that guy, yeah.
The guy. He's a Mad
Mr.
Max too. Nicholas Hoult? No.
Dude Man McGillicuddy.
Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
Both
he's
interesting
also-
choices. What the fuck?
So Robert Pattinson, it was funny. We were doing our text message show notes stuff, and you said how awesome William Dafoe would be as a Joker, and Robert Pattinson, and whatever. You're like, oh, maybe they actually have a movie together right now called Lighthouse.
Oh, really?
William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. I guess it's great.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
I think not seeing that movie. I would like to see that movie.
Mhm.
But I think it's been a long time since Twilight.
Yeah.
And he has kind of that stoic nature to him.
He's made some interesting
I think-
films since then. Yes.
Yeah, and he's been really trying hard to move away from that and doing a lot of interesting, like really acting heavy films.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it to give him a shot.
And you can't really. I mean, fucking. There
The
always
writing
seems
is
to
only
be.
so good.
I mean,
There's always
On
uproar
Twilight.
over these Batman castings too. That and
There
people
is.
yeah, like
But
Michael
yeah.
Keaton, nobody liked him. Ben Affleck, I thought, even though the movies are shit, I thought Ben Affleck did a pretty good job.
I mean, you have to
Yeah.
think like Michael Keaton back then. He was like Mr. Mom and all
Yeah.
this stuff. Like,
He's still my favorite Batman, by the
yeah,
way. Michael Keaton.
but like, would you ever think Michael Keaton as Batman?
yeah, no,
You know,
no.
like even actually, Christian Bale was probably like the most. Okay, I could see him as Batman. Like, look at
Yeah.
everything else he's played.
Yeah,
Minus,
especially American Psycho. Like, that's him.
But like everything he's played in, like it was like a typical. Yeah, I could see him as Batman. But maybe Robert Pattinson, like he'd be a good Bruce Wayne. Looks like.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna do good.
He's also much older.
What
No.
the fuck do I know? Even I was one of the people like Heath Ledger, Joker, what?
Oh, I was one of them too.
Fucking did.
But I did
Smashed
like
it
Heath
up.
Ledger though. Like I liked like a few of his movies.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah, Knight's Tale. But they
This
were-
goes to show when an actor has something to prove, or really anybody, when they have something to prove, they're gonna put their heart and soul into it.
Well, I think it depends
gonna
on whether
come out
you're a
better.
method actor or just like an actor trying to be someone else. Like Jared Leto's Joker is shit.
Yeah.
Awful.
But I think
Awful.
Joaquin
I'll say it. It's awful.
Phoenix's Joker will, be good.
It's looking good.
I watched that trailer again last night. Fucking, it looks amazing.
So I did hear, like I read this little article about 10 Things I Hate About You,
Mhm.
right? and they're saying that 10 Things I Hate About You is what Seattle used to be like, and it has died since then. Like, Seattle is not like, if you want to know what Seattle was like before, like, all these big corporations, all the homeless, and all, watch 10 Things I Hate About You, because that's how
Really?
Seattle used to be like.
The new one or the old one?
The old one,
I
the
watched
Heath
it.
Ledger.
Yeah. Is there a new one?
I don't know.
Or no, there's a different one about some girl committing suicide on Netflix. I don't know what it's called. I thought it was 10 Things I Hate About You.
That's 10 Reasons Why.
Yeah, 10 Reasons Why. I was getting that mixed up. Never
Is that
mind
in
me.
Seattle too?
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
But,
There's
you
a
know,
lot
I
of
watched
Seattle
that
locations.
one, and I just thought that would just encourage kids to commit suicide.
I want to say, well, no, maybe not. I saw the school from 10 Things I Hate About You. It's actually in Tacoma, I think. Yeah.
Mm. You can go to this place called Gasworks Park.
Yeah, that's in the movie. They
Which
go to
is
the
in the
troll.
movie.
They go to
They
the
go to the-
troll in the movie.
That's still here.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, like, Seattle's changed a lot since then.
Yeah.
A lot.
For the better, or
Oh, definitely for the worse, I think.
For the
Like,
worst, yeah.
the whole Seattle culture is dead. Like, what Seattle used to be like, the clean, coffee drinking, hipster, whatever you want to say. Like, Seattle's dead in my mind.
Yeah, I'm so glad we don't live there. We can just sit here in our
Yeah.
LA home and judge them from over there.
I mean,
Yeah.
LA's not any better, though. We're looking for this paradise, and it's just not,
It's just not there
it's
anymore.
not there anymore, man.
You want a tip? Move out to like the Midwest where it's cheap. You'll make way more money.
Yeah, you know, I did hear that Bend, Oregon, and the suburbs of Denver, Colorado, were pretty awesome places
Yeah.
to live. Yeah,
It's
Like,
hard, man. It's a crap
Bend,
shoot.
Oregon has like that small town feel, but it's still a little bit bigger. Like, they still have like great breweries and like
Mm.
you know, like, that's what I kind of miss. I miss like a smaller town feel, but it's still bigger. You know,
Yeah.
like
That's how Austin used to be,
Yeah.
but then everybody and their mother moved to Austin, and now
Yeah.
it's just this kind of like Seattle 10 years ago or something.
Yeah,
like
like-
it was
yeah.
this huge phenomenon of culture and music and everything, and then so many people moved there that it just became so damn expensive that it's really just industry.
Like, Seattle just got so fucking big, like too big for itself, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't support it.
If you're not working for one of the big companies, then you're not here.
I don't even know how you afford to live out here, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I live like 45 minutes away from work.
I don't know how I afford to live out here. It's nuts.
Mhm. It's hard.
Yeah,
So-
$1 million house.
You
for
definitely need a 2-income family, that's for sure.
Yeah, like the
easily.
you know the society in which, you know, one income household kid like just provide for the whole family is
Mm-hmm.
dead and gone.
Yeah, that's gone. Even in the Midwest, it's just so expensive.
Wonder where. I mean, I guess the real trick is to go someplace up and coming, and that's kind of shitty now, but like they're building it up and stuff.
Yeah,
Buy a house and let. I mean, it's just so hard to fucking to do.
the islands east of here, like not Mercer Island,
Yeah, dude.
some other island.
Whibby.
Whidbey Island, Vashon.
I don't know. It's east, towards La Push area, but that's
Wait, hold
that's
on.
an up and coming area.
An island east. would
I'm
be-
gonna find it.
Are you talking west?
West.
Yeah. I mean,
Shut
I
up,
don't, I, don't,
west.
I don't think there's any. The island west is the whole United, or east is the whole United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
Right.
everything else. Oh, Kingston,
Oh,
like the Kingston area, that's up and coming. That actually has some cheapish area, and I think in the future they'll kind of hopefully they'll upgrade their ferry system, or maybe make a bridge over there, and then I can live there.
Bridges are complicated.
Yeah,
I
I'm not an
have you seen
architect. I don't know
have you
anything
seen the
about bridges.
Tacoma Narrows Bridge when there was like a windstorm? It was just like rubber bands, pretty much.
It's just shit.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there's way too much wind around here to
Yeah.
support like big.
Bad weather.
Yeah. Like Florida, they have hurricanes and shit, but
all right. To drop the guys, we live in Washington.
All right,
We're not
yeah,
from
fine.
LA. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We are. We're Washington.
We're in San Jose.
Yeah.
We live in a $12 million house that's 1,000
Obviously,
square
yeah.
feet.
It's actually pretty nuts, man, because I live in Kingsgate, Kirkland, and from what I hear from people that have lived out there for a long time, it used to be shitty not too long ago, like actual bad area, but now like they've opened up all the wineries in like Woodinville.
Well,
Yeah.
they've definitely like the infrastructure in Kirkland. Like they've remodeled
Yeah,
all of Kirkland.
all of it.
That's what they're doing in Bothell right now. They are
Yeah.
remodeling the whole downtown.
Now
Like
it's-
pretty much taking everything out and remodeling everything.
excuse me.
I was very surprised
Excuse me.
that how good the infrastructure was when I went over there, because it was like a school day, and literally the whole like town or borough or whatever you call it shut down for school letting out, and I was just so
Really?
impressed that it was like everyone's just so community oriented there. It's a nice place to live.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what I miss,
but
man.
it's a nice
I
place
miss
to
having
live.
like a community to live in.
yeah.
You know, right now I feel like
Everyone's just living here, you know.
yeah.
There's not really a
Yeah.
community.
If we
People are
ever-
gonna move on later.
If we ever make it big with this podcast, I think what we need to do is just buy a cul-de-sac, and then we'll have like our own houses on there.
Bill Gaten.
Yeah, and we can all be neighbors, and we can just like walk over each other's houses and podcast. It'd be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of my place, prime stream time.
Is it ready
my
to go?
Yeah, because there's no one living below me, so we can be as loud as possible right now. And I don't know how long it's going to be. And I think that's I
not
have
like
a
we're
couch
all
right
loud
behind me, you know?
Mhm.
I have like a 3-person couch because I just got a new couch. So
Oh, nice.
we can.
I mean, we keep things pretty calm. It's not like we're not loud or anything in our podcast. We're not like
True.
some other YouTubers that scream all the time.
Yeah. That do drugs.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a like YouTuber that you're like, this guy does drugs?
All
For
of them.
sure. Like,
All of them probably.
this guy does coke for sure.
But I don't know. I guess that's what the kids like. I mean, my kids fucking, it's like
Nothing but yelling.
nothing but screaming the whole time. I'm just like, what is happening?
Influence.
Yeah.
Influencers.
Oh my God. What a life. I would love to be an influencer. Just hang out
Right.
and yeah.
But it's not all fine and dandy. Did you hear about James Charles? He's
My kids told me something about, he did something.
he does makeup and stuff. I don't know if he's considered transitional or whatever, or just gay. I don't know.
Wasn't he, oh my
But-
God, isn't he rape? Statutory rape? or
He
something?
got accused for.
I don't want to offend anybody, but that's what.
He got accused for manipulating and coercing straight men to have sex with him because
Oh.
of his power and stuff like that. That's just
because of his power.
allegedly.
He seduced straight men with
Well,
his power.
you know, no,
Yeah,
some people
because
have,
he's
have
pretty
that,
big in the YouTube world.
They have that authority, speaking power. Like Charlie Manson, man, he was a very
Mhm.
powerful speaker.
Yeah.
You know, and he got, you know, look
And
what he
also-
did.
He
I
had
mean,
a lot of
sure.
money, and like his word on YouTube could mean a lot.
I'm
But-
not trying to accuse anybody of anything, but I was putting context.
I
out
don't
there.
think I could. Be
Yeah.
I don't think I could be talked into much, but I think that's more not because like I'm a strong person with a strong mind. I'm just lazy. So I wouldn't. You couldn't talk me to do it because it just sounds exhausting. You know?
How about I fly you to LA, baby?
Nah, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm good.
Kind of with
I'm
my
good where I'm at.
kids.
Isn't it crazy like how we've changed so much? I know, John, you're still in your younger 20s,
Still getting there.
but like how, as you're getting older, your life changes to where you're out and about, going to bars all the time. Now it's like a struggle just to get me to set my foot out the door.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
me now. I'm worried about later.
it's exhausting. I don't want to do it.
It's like, if
Like-
this podcast wasn't at my house, I probably wouldn't do it.
Seriously.
John's like,
That's
yeah.
why I want the Twitch channel to be at my house.
Right.
Everyone show up here and stuff.
Even today, I was like in bed looking at my phone. I was like, maybe I should cancel.
I'm just too damn lazy. Once they figure out the way to podcast from like 3 remote locations.
You could do that, but I don't think it's
That's too
very
complicated.
Yeah.
Well, it's not interactive either.
Life's
Like,
just exhausting, man. I worked late
It
all
is.
week. John worked late all week and stuff. Just sometimes it's tough.
it's hard to get out of bed sometimes, man. Like honestly, like being a cog in this social world is hard.
hmm
You know.
I do love this podcast, though.
Oh yeah, me too, dude.
Yeah,
So
success.
I did want to touch up on a little bit of their show notes
We might
from
have
last
to-
week.
We might have to do one more growler.
Yeah, that's fine with me, man. I mean, we're only at an hour right now, so we still got another hour to drink beer. I did want to touch on some show notes from last week before we get into some really heavy topics. I think we'll end the show with Game of Thrones. How about that?
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Maybe we won't do our random questions. Maybe we will do. I don't know. But I wanted to talk about the
Give it all to
anxiety
me.
aspect
Yes.
of your questions.
Take
So
beta blockers.
What
Sorry,
did I
what?
say again? Oh my god. Do I still have my notes? Let me see if I have my notes. Where are my notes?
because I do have some personal experience with anxiety,
Yeah.
and I thought it was
Oh, I got personal experience.
I think everyone does, but
What was
What-
my exact
living.
note? Okay. Yes. Our history with anxiety and how we deal with it.
yeah,
is
yeah,
my
there we
question. Oh, here's
Yeah.
all my notes. All right. Here we go.
go.
Cool.
Yeah, so I guess we'll wait for
Okay.
John, but I did want to touch on that because I think that's a good subject, and a lot of people could relate to the anxieties of this world right now.
Oh, I can. Tell you what.
Me too.
I've always been a really anxious person, I think. It's been pretty heightened, though, lately, I think. So, yeah, I'm kind of interested in what you guys do and, well, I guess what you guys do to cope. But, yeah, we can wait for this guy to come back.
Yeah. We'll definitely get another growler too.
I think John takes, like, Ritalin or something. I don't know. I'll let him.
I used to.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice. Does it help?
They had me on a very, very high dosage. And I think it helped, but it was just every month you have to go to the doctor or get represcribed because it's amphetamine.
Yeah.
And then I'm not one to medicate,
Yeah, me neither.
so like if I have like ADD or ADHD or super bad anxiety, I try to figure out with my own body how to deal with it.
Yeah. Because I think that really, where'd this guy go? Did he go to the bathroom? We need to get in deep with this. I was actually thinking about maybe getting some kind of anti-anxiety medication, maybe.
I know for a lot of people,
Sometimes it gets pretty bad,
and
but I never tried it before.
and you seem like the type that might benefit from this is just some heavy meditation.
Yeah. It does help. I'll be honest with you. Well, maybe we'll wait for it till he comes back. I do have a lot to say on the matter.
Yeah.
I found like little things do help because I'm not an overly medicated person either. Like I do love the beer, but I honestly can't do anything heavier than that. I can't. I'm not even like stuff like people say, oh, because it's legal out here, smoke some weed. Fucking that makes me worse. Like I can't even do that. This is pretty much the only thing I can do is alcohol. That's it.
But we're not using it to medicate it.
No.
Are you? No.
No.
Like neither am I. I'm using it because I love the taste of beer. I like a little bit of a buzz every now and again.
Even coffee sometimes. Like
Coffee's
triggers my
terrible.
anxiety,
I put myself in some bad spots because of coffee.
yeah. Ugh, it's awful.
Oh, I know about that.
Hmm.
I have if I have 2 cups of coffee in the morning, then I get so anxious when.
But
I'm
yet
first
you
logging into
come
work.
here
It's fucking
with
horrible.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
How the
Oh my
fuck
God.
do you do
How
that?
do you do that, Red Bull?
I drink a sip of Red Bull or a chug or a glug of Red Bull and I am fucking hurt beating out of my chest.
I can't even drink caffeinated soda. Yeah.
If it's like a
So, man.
positive event that's coming afterwards, then it's fine. But if it's like work, I'm not gonna drink a Red Bull because I'm worried about like shit that's inevitably gonna go wrong or.
Mhm.
Someone's gonna message me as soon as I get online to fucking yell at me or ask for some bullshit that I really don't want to do. But coming here or something, that caffeine gives me a boost to just
let loose.
Yeah, just let loose, talk about whatever or anything like that. But yeah, it really depends. Really, with any kind of substance that changes your mindset,
Mm-hmm.
you should probably do it in a positive environment. Because
Yeah.
like if you're even drinking beer. Like if you're in a depressed state and you're like, oh, I should drink beer, it makes me feel good because I want to get away from it. That's probably not the best idea
Especially
because
as
it's
in-
going to depress you. even.
Well, alcohol
Yeah.
is a downer too.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. I even find, like after a night of drinking, like even if it's not even that much, like I'll wake up the next morning from the drinking, like with anxiety. I think so. It's even I think drinking even makes it worse too.
Yeah, you can. Well, I think it's so we were talking a little bit while you were in the restroom. We didn't dive too far, but just like the medication problem of anxiety and how other people deal with anxiety. I recommended maybe some heavy meditation for Eric,
What I do, so I'm interested in what you guys do. So what's been helping me are I do watch YouTube videos that are like affirmations, like positive affirmations and stuff, like you put on headphones, good to sleep with too. And like, they have a guy just like, it's got like just like noise in the background, and then like a person like, relax your body, and then like,
kind of coaching you through the whole process.
Like coaching meditation. very
yes,
much.
coaching meditation.
Yeah.
I do that, and then I also watch Bob Ross painting videos. That always calms me down too.
That's cool. Yeah, that's why it's so popular. It's
So back
You're
when I
right
was,
to do
yeah,
that.
no, that's good. So
Those
back,
help me.
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
So back when I was having severe panic attacks and anxiety attacks, I used to read
Oh, really?
because reading it like stimulated my brain. Like so I would read, and that would calm me down. I used to have bad like I can't handle myself. Like my heart is beating. I feel like I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Panic attacks.
Nothing's worse than a fucking panic attack. My God.
And then I
don't think I've ever had a true panic attack.
No.
I used to
You feel
have
like
them-
you're gonna
Thank
die.
goodness.
You feel like you're dying.
No, I used to have them weekly, daily.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. And then so being like a body person that I am, like, okay, like how do I fix this in my body? Like what am I doing wrong that is causing me like these panic attacks? And honestly, I changed my diet.
Oh, really?
Yep. I changed my diet and I
What'd you cut out?
pretty much all sugar and most of my caffeine. I stopped I stopped eating like crap. Like I eat better now. Like I eat more like mostly proteins and whole foods. Like I don't eat Hot Pockets every single day. Like, and since I changed my diet, I have not had one panic attack.
Really?
Not one.
Yeah, they say that if you go to a doctor and complain about depression, they're going to tell you to change your nutrition. You need to have better nutrition.
And
Like,
sleep.
of course, that's not going to completely alleviate you from all your worries about life, but that definitely contributes.
Yeah.
for
Well,
sure.
yeah. Because
It's
I fought
how good
I
you
fought it for years, and I was like, I don't want to be a medication junkie.
Mhm.
So I need to figure out with my own body, and like
Yeah.
and I just changed everything I ate and drank,
That's good.
and I have not had one panic attack in almost like in over a year and a half now,
Mhm.
a year and 5 months.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah, it was
Congratulations.
crazy. Like it was just changing one thing about myself, which was diet. I ate like shit. I drank like shit. Like it was terrible.
Yeah.
Sodas all the time?
Sodas. I'd probably drink more than a gallon of soda a day. I drink a shit ton of coffee.
Jeez.
It's shit ton of. No, like I would have those big gulps, and I would drink 3 or 4 or 5 of those a day.
Wow.
Dang.
I
Yeah, that'll contribute.
ate fast food. I ate processed food, and I cut all that out. I pretty much only eat pretty much whole foods, and pretty much I limit my sugar to maybe a treat. Every now and again, I'll have like a donut or some ice cream,
Mhm.
but I don't eat cookies. I don't eat, so it's pretty much just whole foods,
Like ice
proteins,
cream.
Yeah. Moderation.
like very moderated. Like I probably have sweets once every 2 weeks,
Nice.
Nice.
Exercise helps too.
Yeah.
Right, that's
it
what
does.
I was going to get into
Yeah.
is my way is a form of meditation is pacing. I've been pacing, which if you don't know what pacing means, it's just like walking back and forth on like a path of some kind.
Mhm.
I've been pacing since I was like a small kid. I'd go outside and literally walk around and do nothing but stare at the ground and like walk around a tree or something
Yeah.
like that. That is my meditation time.
Mm.
I feel like I think the best when I'm moving.
Mhm.
So I'll just, even at my apartment, you can literally see my footsteps
Really?
in the
That's cool.
carpet because I just walk back and forth. And when I drink too, it actually increases my pacing.
Yeah.
So like people come to my house and they're like, "Sit down, man." I'm like, "I don't want to. I like standing. It makes
Sit
me
down. You're making me nervous.
it just alleviates my stress levels, you know."
Yeah. I don't mean to sound like super hippie or anything, I don't think it has to be hippie, but I think just being like finding out more about your body
Mm-hmm.
and like what makes you feel like crap or makes you feel good or like cut out some stuff, like,
Yeah, everything
you know-
that you are is your body.
like
Your mind is your body.
stop eating bread and see how that makes you feel. Of course you're going to have a withdrawal of whatever you stop,
Yeah.
But a lot of the foods,
You can have cravings.
I read this study, there's ongoing study about obesity, and it is a direct correlation. So like this study I watched, it is, so the average American household spends 30 minutes cooking food, but only 4 minutes cleaning up after the food, which means they're not actually physically cooking from scratch meals. And there's a direct correlation between processed foods and fast foods, like foods that you could just put in the freezer, and obesity, which means we as the American nation are not cooking from scratch foods anymore. And that has like, if you look at other countries that still cook from scratch every single day, their obesity rates are far lower than what ours are now.
It's convenient to just
It is.
fill your fucking mouth.
But what are those processed foods doing to you? Like, what is that bread that is like super full with sugars and all this other stuff doing to your body? Like, you have to figure out like
And
your body.
yeah, and this new kind of bread, like fast food bread especially, like it doesn't decompose. It's barely bread.
Yeah.
It doesn't mold
Well, even
or
bread,
anything. You can
even
leave
bread
it
you
out
buy
for
in
a
the
year
store,
and
even
nothing.
the bread you buy in the store is not good for you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could buy some whole grain bread, but like, look at the ingredients. It still has high fructose corn syrup, and it has much sugar as fucking soda. You know?
Yeah, and we didn't evolve to break that stuff down.
No, we didn't. So I would say like, you know, start looking at the foods you eat and maybe cut like one thing out.
Yeah.
And
And
just like
also-
slowly, you know.
Is just the satisfaction that you get when you complete a meal that you've created yourself.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that too.
Baking bread's actually pretty therapeutic. I've done that a couple times.
Right.
Yeah, it's nice.
You ever make sourdough in like the fridge or something like that?
Yeah.
You feel good about it
Yeah.
because it tastes
Yeah.
delicious afterwards.
Plus, like once you get back on like that more cooking at home, you lose weight. Like I have seriously, so I weighed myself like 4 days ago. I've lost 30 pounds since January 2nd of last year.
Oh, really? That's
30
Nice.
pounds.
That's really good.
That's a lot of weight
Yeah.
Just out of diet alone too.
just out of diet.
Not even working out, running, or anything like that. Let that be a lesson. It's all nutrition.
Yeah.
I mean, but other people do cope with anxiety in different ways. Like I also feel like there's this anxiety, this pressure of what maybe a little bit younger generation than us, the acceptance pressure of social media, getting that like, getting that perfect filter, getting that perfect
Yes.
picture, getting these, the social media pressure on kids these days and young adults these days is unlike anything we've ever seen before,
Yeah.
which is creating a new type of anxiety for everybody. Like that's why we have so much anxiety around, is like that social media acceptance pressure is real.
Yeah.
Like if you don't like, getting likes is like directly linked in your brain to like the same endorphins that like sex and all that. It is like stimulating your brain every time you get a like. You get like these new endorphins in your brain, and
Yeah. That means someone has physically liked what you do and not getting
so
that.
so people
for
like
sure.
if they post a picture and there's not enough likes, they get depressed.
Yeah, they feel like
You
they're
know,
inadequate.
If
or
they're not
whatever.
getting likes or not getting comments or posts, it's like this social media pressure on young adults right now is crazy.
Yeah, and they don't realize that these big Instagram pages are like systematically designed to get likes.
And get
Like, these people
and
are
make
not-
you addicted.
Yeah.
You know, people
These
get addicted
people
to
aren't
likes.
real.
Like
They're
that's
photoshopped and they've had work done and they're not the personality they seem to be. Like it's a total facade, and people feel like if I'm not like that person, then like
well,
I'm
yeah.
inadequate or I'm useless to everyone else.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's why I don't want to take over our social media pages, because I don't social media anymore.
No.
No, I do not social media at all. Like I will scroll through stuff, but I never post anything. I never like anything. Like I'm mainly in there to see what a couple of my friends or my family are doing or whatever. But I never like, I never post, never do anything. And I'm not on social media at all. Like at all.
Really?
You know,
That's cool. Good for you. I'm not on Facebook.
that's why I don't want to like
I
social
do
media
Facebook.
at all, because you know, I'd rather someone else do it,
Yeah.
because I don't do it. You know,
I
it's
do have
like-
an Instagram to keep tabs on people. Actually, I chatted with John Austin yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
nice. He's a good guy. He's coming up this week.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta come by. When?
Yeah, he's gonna be here like the 30th through like the 3rd, or so next Saturday. I think I'm gonna hang out with him. You should come with.
Yes, I would love to come.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Should
So-
we Should we pod with him?
Well, like I don't know if like it was a pod situation because like I haven't seen him in a couple of years.
Oh, yeah,
probably hang
so
out and
maybe.
have beer. You
Yeah,
know?
that's cool. Oh shit, it's my anniversary
Oh shit.
on Saturday.
Maybe not go.
Maybe we can meet up sometime.
Yeah,
during
yeah.
the day.
I'll keep you posted on the weekend. We might hang out Friday night.
Nice.
So
Friday night would be good for me.
I'll kind of see what's going on.
Yeah.
But like back to the anxiety thing, I think there's that, and if you look like back in like the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, no one talked about that because you were a lesser person if you talked about your personal struggles. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It was called the 1,000-mile stare, and that's just something men do,
Mhm.
especially men.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
You held back all your emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you just stared out into the sunset and they just said, well, grandpa's just like that, son.
Yeah, no feelings at all, or suicide in a horrible way. No.
What do you think is going through grandpa's mind right now? Like the most horrifying thing you can think of, or just the biggest guilt you could ever think about, and he's just not allowed to speak it.
It's kind of tough though, right? Too, like with these old folks and stuff, actually gone through probably some real shit. It's like,
I mean, like the Great
Wars
Depression,
and stuff. Yeah.
wars, Great Depression, like, and we have social media.
meanwhile, I'm just crying like, I'm sad. Ooh.
It really
have a lot
it
to
really makes
do
you
with my
think
time.
about like prioritize your emotions a little bit. Like look at our past generations and what they had to go through,
Yeah.
and we are worried about likes.
Yes. Almost seems pretty trivial and lame.
It is.
Yeah. If you look at a graph between how many people have died in war, basically after Vietnam, it's almost non-existent for
Right.
most people in the world. Obviously not 100%. People
Yeah.
die in war all the time, but it's like 1% of what it was before. That like the world is relatively peaceful now, so it's hard to find really people like as humans have always had something to like fight for and die for, but lately that's not there, It's just trying to live out your life,
Well,
Yeah.
and that is like one benefit of like social media and what like our world right now is we can communicate with anybody, anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
The fact that that's our like worst thing about us is social media or something, that's kind of good.
Yeah.
It is. But
It's
like our bodies
kinda boring.
and our personalities have to adapt with this new technology. Like I was watching another podcast with Elon Musk, and he was saying that being a cybernetic person right now is 100% happening because our phones are an extension of our bodies now.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Our computers are an extension of our bodies. It's only a matter of time before they're
Have you
integrated.
ever met someone that said, "Oh, I don't have a phone"? Have you ever met a single
Yeah.
person?
I've met someone that didn't have a smartphone that had a flip phone for a long fucking time.
But
Yeah.
like just no phone in general?
No phone in general, no.
No.
Like,
It's been a while.
so humans,
there
like
was,
you said, are cybernetic.
there was
Like,
a point
there's-
in my life where
it's
I didn't
weird
have
when
a
someone-
cell phone.
doesn't have that.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
if
yes.
someone didn't have a smartphone, you're like,
We are
Huh?
we are 100% connected to the world. Like when in history has it ever happened? Never. And we are dealing with new problems because of it.
There was a point, I think it was last weekend, where I just hung up my phone up to charge it, and it was like upstairs, and I just left it there, and I didn't have it all day. There was like a strange feeling of empowerment for just not picking up the phone at all that day.
yeah.
It felt really good.
You felt like a man camping
Yeah.
in the woods.
I'm like, I'm in the final
Like,
frontier.
I'm out here by
now, baby.
myself.
That was crazy
Frontier
stuff, man. What other show notes did you have from the other day?
I had a good day Friday where I didn't have anxiety, but then I started getting anxiety about not having anxiety. Weirdest thing.
That has a name. I forgot the name for it, but it's basically like stuff is too good. What's going on?
Yeah.
I
Like,
used,
when is life gonna break? That's how it was. It
When's
was
life
like,
gonna fucking
I was
dick
like,
slap me across
today
the
is
face?
going really good. When's the bottom gonna drop out? Like,
Yeah.
fucking, that's
that's happened to me quite a few times. Like I've thought like I've had cancer or something like that, like headaches and weird that lasted a few days, and then like the headache went away. I was like, why'd my headache go away?
right.
Why is my head not hurting anymore? Like what's going on right now? Is this a new form of cancer? Or if like something hurts for like a few days and you don't feel it anymore, it's like your body's like, you should be feeling this. It's not like you miss it, but you're like, why isn't it there anymore?
Right? It's like
Yeah.
an aneurysm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did you
what?
know that when you have an aneurysm, when you stop feeling the headache, that's when you should be worried.
Really?
Yeah.
Or when
Well, now it just gives me another thing to worry about.
yeah. Every time I smell toast, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm dying.
Yeah. Stroke coming on, Emily.
It's happening.
Nah, but that's sad.
So how do you like cope with your anxiety these days? So let me ask you a 2-part question. Sorry. How do you cope with your anxieties these days, and what new methods are you trying to help you cope with anxiety?
Well, like here's the deal, right? I think I've always had it in a certain way. It's just been like especially heightened after my divorce, and it wasn't so much a divorce, just like everything that entailed. I'm a person that tends to get overwhelmed pretty easily. So one thing I'm trying to do is practice mindfulness and kind of living more in the moment instead of, because I'm the kind of person that's always like, I have to do this and this and this. Like,
Yeah, what's the future?
yeah, I'm always
hold?
thinking towards the future and like what I need to do to get there. And like, so it's like I have all these problems laid out before me, even just like with everyday stuff. And then like I tend to like get overwhelmed, like, oh my God, like I get anxiety of over like having to take my kids somewhere or something like that. And like just with work and stuff and how that's all going to work out. So I'm trying to practice more mindfulness, living in the moment and taking things one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Not really worried about what's going to happen later on that day or later on this week. Just take it on a day-by-day basis, and that seems to help. And then, yeah, Bob Ross is really calming.
Yeah.
And the affirmation stuff really does seem to help for me. This is kind of sweet, but I was telling my girlfriend this the other day. Like, I woke up with anxiety one morning and kind of just, like, rolled over and, like, held her. And it's kind of like I could almost, like, trying to absorb her calmness, I guess. And that tends to work too.
So
Yeah,
is
human
this something you
interaction.
openly talk about with your girlfriend?
Hmm?
Is this something you openly talk about?
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
knows. Yeah,
Yeah.
she knows all about that. She kind of has the same thing. She gets a lot of anxiety too.
I mean, it's hard. You're juggling a lot of things at once right
Yeah.
now. You know, I think maybe like having a clear picture.
a lot of it's like blood pressure too. Like I do have high blood pressure, so I'm like on medication. So when I'm on that medication, it tends to level me out a lot more. Like so much so that when I'm normal, I can like tell. Like I can totally tell when I'm like getting off kilter and stuff, and it's time to take that
So
stuff.
you're starting to learn your body a little bit more.
Yeah. The only thing is that I found out that my medication causes you to gain a lot of upper body weight. So I'm hoping, I just went and did more blood work on Friday. I'm hoping they put me on something else.
Yeah.
Because I do exercise a lot.
Yeah.
Don't let these titties fool you. I do. So it's just tough.
Ask about those beta blockers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They work well.
I think, you just, you're being open, communicative about it, and you're striving for better solutions within your own body, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure everything's going to work out.
Maybe you just need to take like those Bob Ross moments and extend them and make them more powerful.
For sure.
Like actual like
No
real-
mistakes, just happy accidents.
I think a lot of it too is denying passions in my life too. Like just not having time to do the stuff that makes me happy, because I do, when I do make that time to do it, I do get pretty happy. Like just simple stuff like playing guitar or drawing and stuff, just to, or this podcast, just making time to do that stuff does improve my outlook on life, I guess.
Well, it's hard with like the pressures of society. Like you
Yeah.
have to make so much money. You have to put food on the table. You have to get your kids to school. You have to do
pay
all.
the rent.
You have to pay the rent. You have to do all these things.
Yeah.
Like you have to.
Like
Yeah, there's no not doing it.
you know?
With the hours I put into work and like just shuffling everybody around where they need to go and other bullshit that I have to deal with, like past stuff, I think I would probably be crazy to not
Feel at least a little bit of
Yes,
anxiety
yes.
about that.
There would probably be something wrong with me if I wasn't feeling the way this. So that calms
Yeah.
me down too, to kind of like, hey, I probably do have every reason to be fucking afraid. And yeah.
No.
I don't know. I've spent a lot of my time, my personal time, and a lot of time as a kid, like learning, not intentionally, but like learning these Vulcan techniques, you know,
Yes.
like of just being stoic and like trying to be non-emotional. And like that works for me. That doesn't work for a lot of people because a lot of people are a lot more expressive than I am, you know. But like when I'm at work, everyone's like, I don't know how you're so even killed and you're just so like straight. You know, you have no ups and downs. It's like, yeah, I work very hard to not have ups and downs because if I have ups and downs, everyone would fucking know it.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I've worked very hard because I have a bad temper. My temper is short fused, and
I've seen it.
I've worked very
I've
hard
never seen it.
to not have a temper, and it's taken a lot of commitment in my part to not have that temper.
I've never
So-
seen John Man like.
Not,
Right, just fucking focus, please.
Not mad at me, but mad at somebody else.
Yeah, you know, and I've been mad at a lot of people, and it's taken a lot of time for me not to have that fuse blow, and it's hard, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I've personally tried to figure out within my own body, in my own mind.
There was this one time where we were in, I think it was when we went on tour and stuff, and there were like these people, and I was trying to start a fight, and the John Man was trying to like fucking put me at bay and stuff. I'm like, what are we in?
God damn it, Eric.
Are we in Bizarro world right now?
You're trying to start a fight with some people?
Yeah, we were like outside this hotel, and I was just being dumb, and I was like egging this person, like trying to start a fight. And John Man's like, "What are you doing?" He was the voice of reason,
Yeah, use the angel on your shoulder.
and
right
I'm like,
there.
"This is weird. What's happening?" Well, usually it's the other way around. What's going on?
Well, I think that same night, like we were talking, I was like, "Hey, don't mind my friend right there." I was like, "Are you guys meth dealers?" And I was like, "What?"
Do I look like a fucking meth dealer, you dick? That's hilarious.
John Man flipped over a table one time. So angry.
Yeah, I did flip over that table.
What did you lose? Or
I didn't lose anything.
We were playing.
Did
I
you
lost
lose a
my
game or something?
I lost my temper. That's
we
what
were playing Monopoly, and he was like, "Fuck it!" No, I'm just kidding.
No, it was over.
We were at a bar. Or yeah, it was over a payout, I think.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so I wanted to like, our show was done. This is one of the band days. Our show was done. I just wanted to get our money and leave so I could go home. And like the guy was just like so persistent on just like, you have to stay here till 2:00. He's like, I'm not gonna fucking stay here till 2:00. And that little fucking asshole like got in my face. So he was in my face, and I flipped over the like a table like that was in between us like this. It was like a bar table with glasses on it. I just flipped it over, and I was like, "What the fuck are you gonna do?"
yeah.
Yeah, and I've never been to that bar since, and then it closed down. So
People talk about that.
Ah, that's good. Nice. Fuck them then.
yeah,
Did he make you still stay till 2?
I didn't stay till 2. No,
No.
Nice.
it was like out of principle. It wasn't about the money. It was about the principle of like, hey, like
Why still stay till 2?
yeah,
It's fucking stupid.
Oh, about what I hit you guys up about too is just because I was curious about whatever happened to Dane Cook. Like you don't hear about him a lot. You have a Dane Cook tattoo, right?
I
You
do.
have
I
the super finger.
I have the super finger.
super-
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I saw an interview with him, and turns out, so like when he was a young stand-up comic, just like touring around, he hired his brother to handle his finances and kind of like take over like the business part of the whole thing. This is back when he was like a struggling comedian too.
Yeah.
So the way he kind of describes it too is like his brother used to work at a prison, and like he's like, hey, I know you get all these benefits and stuff like that, and like if you come over and help me, like I'll make sure that you're taken care of. So like even the way he describes it, it made him work harder. That way, like his brother would have like medical and like all his stuff taken care of.
Yeah.
So like he did that, and he did it for years, and then slowly, because he was pretty huge for a while.
Yeah.
Like, still-
Oh yeah.
He was
Easily
selling out
the
arenas.
best
yeah,
comedian.
selling out arenas,
Like 2003.
movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So like recent-ish, I think maybe a year or two ago and stuff, he wanted to move his business out to California because it was all back in Boston, I guess. And he wanted to buy a house in California and just live out here like in LA and just have everything based out of LA. And like I guess his brother was like a little shady about it. And the way he describes it is that one day he just like how much trouble his brother was giving him, just stuff about like, just moving the business out. He woke up one morning like with anxiety, and he's like, oh my God, I think my brother's stealing from me. He goes down to Bank of America, and goes into his corporate account completely empty.
Oh man.
So yeah. So he goes down there. All his fears are realized. His brother like cleaned him out. It's been like stealing millions, scheming millions and millions of dollars over this whole span of time. So and you know, like they're pretty close. So close that he trusted him to handle his finances. I mean, it's his fucking brother. Like the way he describes it, it was his best friend, and like his brother's always been there.
Yeah.
So he I think he talked to his new manager about it, and then they called the city or the state of Massachusetts, because I guess it wasn't just Dane Cook he was stealing from. Like it was also like a lot of taxes stuff. Like fucking like Dane Cook got fucked up on this for like a while. Like he still, before he got to see any money back, there was like all these back taxes that weren't paid either that he had to do. So he got like totally screwed on the deal.
Wow.
His brother ended up going to prison, the same prison that he used to work at. Dane Cook pulled him out. Now he's like an inmate there. I think his wife got in trouble too.
Dane Cook's or the brother?
The brother's wife. So they both went down and stuff. They've been hoarding all this money.
Like embezzling like crazy.
Yeah. And he didn't even get to see like a lot of that money back and stuff. Like he had to go start touring to do shows again to like recoup this money. Like he didn't get it all back either.
Wow.
He had to go into court and like read like a victim statement and stuff, and like a total like big deal, and like his brother got put away. But I was just thinking, like, you know, we all have brothers. Like that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the etiquette on handling that? Like, do you
First off,
Don't hire family.
Don't hire
ever
family.
hire family for that kind of
No.
like
Don't hire
financial
family to do that. No.
anything financial. Like you want to get someone as third party as you can.
Yeah.
Well, I've been
As
like,
totally
I'm-
unbiased.
Yeah, I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name people, but I have been on a small scale, like money taken from me, like monthly,
Yeah, and then
from
they
family
say,
members that I have.
"I'm your family, bro."
Well, yeah,
It's like, I
and
don't
it's
give
just
a fuck.
they in this certain circumstance, they had access to this bill that I will just call it a bill
Mm-hmm.
that we were paying, and I'm trying to like say it so like I will never give anything away, but they also had a part in this bill, right? But they would also never pay their part of the bill and then take money off of the part that we were paying, because like
Wow.
we always paid extra on
Yeah.
that bill, right?
Just skimming off of that.
So they never paid their part, and then they would take the extra that we would pay and then take it for their own personal money,
wow,
Dang.
and then only
that's straight
pay,
up stealing.
Oh yeah, and then only pay the minimum. So straight up stealing on a very small scale, and then it's hopefully I don't give anybody anything away, but you know
Nah,
that's
that was general.
that is what it is, you know. So it's happened to me on a very small scale. That's why you don't have family manage your money.
Yeah.
Like my family does not know how much I make. They will never know how much I make. I have 3 separate bank accounts, 4 separate bank accounts, you know, and no one's gonna know anything.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
only
A lot
only
of families
business
has a way
is-
of just sucking you dry.
is me and my wife's. My wife and I's money is my wife and I's money, and it's the only people that know how much money is in each
Yeah,
certain
as
account.
it should be. You shouldn't have that kind of conflict of interest, especially when you're Dane Cook and you have millions of dollars. And why would you put, like,
It also
what is he, a correctional officer in
Yeah.
charge of your millions
Right.
of dollars? You need to get a financial, like, manager to do that. And also, if they steal your money, you're not going to feel bad when you sue the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
as
Also,
well.
it seemed like odd that you're not checking your balances that often to know that.
Yeah, 2 years of not checking the balance.
Yeah, like you think you'd be on that more.
Yeah, especially
saying.
at that level where you have millions of dollars
Yeah,
at stake.
especially with like millions gone. You would notice something like that, I would think.
Yeah, I guess maybe when you're busy
Yeah, I guess
as
so.
Dane Cook, but yeah, that's not a good idea to put.
And
I
like-
see where he's coming from, but it was not a good idea initially to give his brother. I would never give my brother
No.
that. He's actually a correctional officer himself
Oh,
and
is
works
he?
at a
Really?
prison. He does work at a prison.
Coincidence.
And no, I would not give him the rights to like all of my earnings and
No.
stuff. Like,
Would you let him handle the sandwich income?
the
Probably
sandwich
not.
income? No, not even that.
Yeah.
No. Like at most I would let him handle like money for if I made millions of dollars, I would obviously want to like help my parents or family and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's the most I would give him power over, like make sure my parents or like you get a good sum of money so that you don't ever have to like struggle or anything like
Yeah.
that because I have like a huge excess of money. But other than that, that was just a very poor decision.
Yeah, I can
on Dane
understand
Cook's
wanting
part.
to help out family, but there are accredited financial advisors for you to go through.
Yeah.
Professionals
That are unbiased and
who I guess
you
do
have,
screw you over sometimes too. I mean, there is definite stuff like that does happen too.
Yeah, but you're not gonna wake up one morning with these people because they know that you'll go to jail.
Yeah.
These financial advisors, you're not gonna wake up one morning and see $0 in your bank account.
Yeah.
And when you have a contract in between you, like I doubt Dane Cook had a contract in between his brother,
Yeah,
helping him alleviate like any, like kind of, what's the word, fault for losing the money. Like I'm
Mhm.
sure he just gave it to his brother and said like, make sure this is good.
yeah. I'm sure.
So there's no paperwork to help him get his money back. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that he
And
didn't
that's
get
pretty-
any of
yeah.
his money back.
That's pretty much what happens. Crazy.
Because he chose to give him all that cash.
So I guess dumb move.
Not a good move. If your brother is a financial advisor or something, totally.
Yeah, if he's a professional, not a corrections officer. My God.
Yeah,
What were
that's
you thinking?
not even close to what he's doing. Then no, obviously, as much as he probably needed a job, it's not a good decision.
Agreed.
That's crazy that he even considered that.
It's nuts, man. It's freaking nuts. I think the only money that he did see back was that he said that there was like money hidden in the house, I guess. Yeah.
Like cash.
Yeah, but it was like $80,000. I think he got that back. But we're talking millions and millions over the course of a decade, probably, that are gone. Just that money's just gone.
Yeah. And there's nothing he can do about it because he made the choice himself.
Yeah, he even had to pay more money just because the taxes that were owed that were never paid on there. So
Yeah.
fucking
And
cost him even more out of pocket.
is his brother going to pay that money back? No.
And the IRS doesn't give a fuck. Like fucking, it's under your name. That's your debt.
Yeah. You got to think about these things logically, especially at that level. People are thinking about other millionaires are playing 4-dimensional chess while you're playing checkers, like at that level, you got to really think hard and long about every decision you make
For sure.
when you're making millions of dollars because so many people want to just suck you dry out of that money.
Like even with my situation with my ex, I ended because I still had dependents. And then when I went so I had dependents through like my whole time at work, like I'm taking care of these kids. And
Yeah.
so then, but she claimed that like when it happened, she ended up claiming them before I did. So I ended up owing thousands and thousands of dollars that particular year in taxes. And that's my debt. Like fucking, I can't do anything about it. Like the IRS doesn't give a fuck of what the
Yeah.
situation is. It's my debt.
Dang, that sucks. That's what you flip a table. That's when you flip a fucking table.
I hope I was being pretty vague on that.
So speaking about flipping tables, like I was also listening to this podcast.
I understand why X's like key cars and stuff
Yeah.
And it got me thinking.
these days.
Like,
Speaking of which, I gotta get some cameras here pretty soon.
Yes.
Anyway, go ahead.
I
You're saying
was
something.
listening to this podcast and it made me think because this particular person, he said it was Ron White, whatever. He said the reason I don't get mad anymore because I've already been as mad as I can
Thanks for
ever
being
be. Which makes me think it's like maybe the reason like I don't get as mad anymore is because I've already been as mad as I could ever be.
You've already hit your mad quota.
Like
for
mad-
your
like-
lifetime.
The
Like-
rage quote.
Yeah.
Like the other day, so like a couple months ago, I got so fucking mad just like working at my job and stuff. And like so frustrated. My heart started pounding and I thought I was gonna have a heart attack.
Really?
Yeah. Like just because like sometimes it builds up, you know, and I'm like, I try to be Vulcan, live long and prosper.
I've gotten that mad at work before. Like,
You know, and like my heart started pounding, like I started getting a little lightheaded. I was like, am I having a fucking heart attack
Yeah.
right now? And I had to literally sit myself down and be like, okay, why are you this mad?
Mhm.
Calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
You know?
It helps me when I think, am I going to be worrying about this in a month? It's usually no.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, okay, you need to calm down.
So I'm pretty
I
sure
need to think about this.
from a couple of months ago, I've been as mad as I could ever be because I felt like I almost had a heart attack. So
So you're done.
I'm
You're done
good.
with the mad. Yeah.
I'm good.
That's good.
Yeah, all the other like are just minor annoyances at that point because you've witnessed this horrible rage-inducing nonsense that was that situation. So anything after that, it's like when the coach tells you to run like 10 miles or something. Anything after that, it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
Like it's less than what you did before. So
That, I mean, that
I guess
shit
it makes you stronger.
Yeah, it does build up. Like you definitely
You
need
got that thick skin.
a way to holding back your feelings. I think does tend to like build things up. I think so.
Yeah,
You
it
do
kind of
need,
backfire eventually.
you do need a way to express that stuff. I find even like with relationships with my girlfriend and stuff, just talking things out, like it does.
Yeah.
There's something to that.
Putting them into
There's
words.
something to
just
the
in
communication.
I mean, communication is key. It is.
Yeah, and
It is.
sometimes when you say something out loud, you realize that this doesn't happen every time, but like you realize that okay, maybe my anxiety is a little over the top for this situation.
Yeah.
Right here, or it can also help you clarify what's going on as well, and help you find a solution just by talking it
That's
out
true.
with someone.
Sometimes I forget that I have a partner. I assume that we're all with our best friends here, right? We're all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all together with our best friends.
Yeah, me and my wife, we were touch of the hip, man.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I rarely do anything without her.
Yeah.
Same.
If I come to your guys' pad, she's going to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like, expect if you invite me over that my wife is coming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
That's what I love about hanging out with adults and not
Yeah.
like younger people my age, is because it's always like, you brought your girlfriend in.
Well, it's awesome because we all have like really awesome, brownie points, but we all have like really awesome girlfriends, I think.
We do.
You're
None of your
listening.
girls are annoying or anything like that.
like-
I mean,
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
Like, when I was your age, I was bringing, like, even before your age, because I met my wife when I was 20. So she
Yeah.
was with me through all my young years, and I brought her with me everywhere. And it's like, I don't give a fuck, you know, like,
Mhm.
I'm bringing her everywhere.
Yeah, it's great. And just like having that person to lean on, like that does to help me out a lot too, to be able to, I have like this feeling, and to be able to express that to somebody is a really
Freely.
good feeling.
It is.
Yeah.
And like, and to
It
have
does,
that.
sometimes it takes my anxiety away just like that, just to be able to talk to somebody about it.
Yeah, and for them to be able to talk to you about those
Yeah.
problems, and like sometimes working out someone else's problems works out your own problems, because you're like, okay, so I can't personally talk to myself about my problems in a way that, or so let's say one of our wives or girlfriends talks to you about a problem, and you're asking questions to get, you know, more detail and more depth, and so how I solve problems is
It's classic boyfriend technique.
I like to ask questions and let them talk about it, and then eventually
Classic guy.
in a
That's what I do.
circle around, like they'll figure out the problem. But as you're asking those questions, you're like, I just figured out my problem. But you wouldn't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you've killed two birds with one stone,
Mhm.
or as Peter likes to put it, hatched two eggs with one nest. I don't know.
Just goes to show that we're kind of meant to have like a person.
No, we definitely are.
Yeah.
Like that life partner is
You need that.
vital
It's helpful.
in any.
Yeah, just
No,
doesn't matter
it-
what gender or whatever.
Just
a
having that
person.
soulmate and that life partner that you could experience life with is
Yeah.
vital.
It doesn't even
Life's
have to
tough.
be like a sexual thing either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life's tough. You need somebody watching your back.
Yeah, we're social creatures. We don't do anything by ourselves. Nothing.
Mhm.
At least we're not built to.
Yeah.
I've had a collection of friends over the years, and I'm a lot better now at girls and man friends too, and I'm just a lot better at I guess figuring out who has my best interest in mind and who doesn't. I think.
Yeah.
Before that, I was really blind to a lot of that back in the day. Now I'm more
Like who's just hanging out with you and who's your friend.
Like, yeah, who's hanging out with you for selfish reasons, and who actually wants to be your friend, and who's not going to fuck you over.
like you guys. I trust you guys wholeheartedly. Like freaking you guys are fucking awesome.
I wouldn't fuck you guys over.
Yeah.
If I went solo, or if one of us goes solo, we have to like bring each other up.
Yeah,
Totally.
I mean, the thing is, like, we could do this podcast with just me and Eric, or me and John, or you, or you two.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You know, like we know it'll always come back for full circle. You know,
Back to one of our old topics. Fucking, if the zombie apocalypse happened, this would be the first house I come to. I'm like, all right, John, what are we gonna do? How do we survive this, man?
We got wood. We got a fence. We need to make this fence tall.
You know, it's crazy because I'm going in. I'm doing like a career transition right now, and learning a little bit about myself in the process. And one of the things that keeps coming up is analytical and logistics.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how my brain works. Is it's very analytical, logistic, and on the fly problem solving. You know.
Yeah.
So come to my house.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're coming to your house.
Yeah.
Because we'll never make it out of town with the traffic if an apocalypse happens. We got to go somewhere close enough to defend.
Yep.
I'll try to hit Costco first, and then I'll come to your house.
Well, don't hit up Costco. Hit up Rite Aid. Get a bunch of contacts for you and my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you don't think about that.
up
The
the
contacts.
contacts.
See, that's why you come to my house. Because I will raid the fucking contacts department.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have a lot of protein bars at my place, so we got that covered.
Yeah. Just bring
That's
those
just-
with you.
Our whole pantry is protein bars.
I have guns, plenty of ammo.
Yes. You got any guns, Eric?
I don't have any guns. What's the only thing I have is a
Odd man
weapon?
out.
I don't have any weapons. I got a baseball bat. That's about it.
All right, so this
Put
is
some
gonna,
nails in it.
I can put some nails in
Yeah,
it. Fucking Negan style. Man.
so this is gonna be like a weird transition.
I have a weed whacker. I'll be
That'll
the weed
do it.
whacker, man.
Yeah. Weird transition, but
Just
how do you
aluminum
go?
strings.
Can you be a pro-gun, pro-choice, pro-life person?
Pro guns, pro choice, and pro life.
Yeah.
See, I'm not the kind of person that thinks that every gun should be free to own. I know it's in the Second Amendment that you should be able to have any gun at any time, but
Responsibly. I mean, there are people that should not have access to guns, but it's like,
yeah, like I can't shake
how
that
do you-
feeling that some people just should not have guns.
I was never a gun person. I
But
don't
what if those
particularly-
people that shouldn't have guns is surrounded by people that should have guns,
That's true.
That should have guns?
Yeah. that are responsible gun owners?
Yes.
And this shady person is very well protected.
Or that shady person is very well gunned down.
It's true.
That's true.
Uh,
There's definitely something satisfying about shooting a gun, I would say.
Yeah. Like, I own guns. I know people that own guns, and I'm in the view of guns don't kill people. People with guns kill people.
Yes, that's true. I would agree
And
with that.
regulating guns is not going to make the guns go away,
No.
and it's not going to make the crime go away.
It's only going
gotta
to
put the
people
gun-
are always going to be I think most of the time, I don't know.
It's a very complicated
You can get-
situation,
you can
and
get
there
them
is a
illegally.
total reason why it is not completely agreed upon, for sure.
It's definitely complicated.
Very similar to abortion. It's like I can see both sides at a purely philosophical standpoint. I'm not an economist or anything like that.
So Alabama.
Well, you shouldn't be an economist deciding abortion laws.
how do you
True,
guys, how do
but
you guys
that's
feel about
a
this,
truth.
this Alabama
They think
law?
about just
See?
the country
See?
and
Full circle.
Full
See?
circle. How do you guys feel about that? Where abortion is likened to murder now in Alabama.
I think that
you can get
makes
a life
things
sentence
a
for
whole
having an
lot
abortion.
worse.
So is
than
it true
does
that
make
you
good.
like the law says you get a life sentence? So I did read a little bit about it, and it was more towards the doctors getting punished
Yes,
versus the client itself.
I think it's both. I don't know.
But I do know that they are full blown banning abortions. So what are the punishments of having an abortion in that state? Like
is
it
prison time.
is prison time?
Yeah, and it can be up to life in prison.
That's fucked up.
Even in cases of incest or rape, it'll still be illegal to have an abortion.
Yeah.
What kind of fucked up shit is that?
I understand
guys' views
that
on
an
abortion
abortion is a life lost in the future. I understand that, but I think that it would be way worse if you banned such a thing like that.
Okay, so my hard part about it is abuse with abortion, and people use
Yeah,
it
and there's
as
also
birth
abuse.
control.
Mhm.
People will use abortion as birth control. I think that is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, but I also
What's wronger though? Like freaking
Having a kid abandoned and
yes
stuff.
is would that would be my argument, is like, why bring a kid into a situation
Where
a
they-
horrible situation
nobody
where-
wants
yes
well, I think there's abuse on all angles of it. I do believe a woman should have a choice whether to
Yes.
bear the child.
I agree.
And
Like
that,
even with instances of rape, like what kind of
yes,
slap in the face is that?
I know it is fucked
Yeah,
up,
you
and
gotta
I do believe a
keep
woman
that.
should have her choice.
Yeah.
A woman should have her choice, and if she's married, I think the couple should have their choice together. And maybe, and I think if they are married, they should have the choice together. And if it has to go to court, kind of like a divorce court, to see if the baby lives or dies, or gets aborted, that is like a mutual. It has to be a mutual agreement. This is a very touchy subject.
Yeah, it's hard.
But I also
It's
believe a
very
woman
hard
should have a
subject.
choice. Like if she's raped, incest, that type of thing, like she should have that choice to whether to carry and have that child.
I heard a good suggestion. I think it was on some kind of podcast. And I really feel strongly about this, especially just having 3 daughters that I'm bringing into the world. What should happen at birth is that every male should be given a vasectomy at birth and
Okay.
stuff, so that they grow up and stuff. And then when you get to a certain point financially,
You can turn it off.
you can turn it off. You can go get it reversed. I think that's the solution.
I think most guys would be totally okay with that.
I think that's
honestly.
like a 100% like control solution. So you
It is a control.
that is
You have to go
That is
prove
no,
that
that's
you can
bullshit.
take care of a child.
No, that is bullshit. That is
I
sexism
think-
at its best.
I
right
think
there.
that's the only way to handle
No,
this. I'll
no,
be
I
honest with you.
I think that is sexism as its best. Okay, so now all of a sudden, and a lot of the time it can be the guy's fault, but just because we give you the seed doesn't mean that it's 100% always our fucking
That's true.
fault.
That's true.
How come the girls can't have their tubes tied when they get?
I mean,
Born.
that's true. I think it's just easier to
It
reverse
is
for the male.
a more extensive procedure
I don't
and
give a
more
shit.
invasive
I don't give a shit.
and more dangerous.
You know, why does it always have to be the man's fucking fault and problem?
That's
It
true.
goes both ways.
That's true. But you can get a vasectomy and get it reversed in the same day.
Yeah, all
That's
right.
one thing.
You
Yeah.
can also put on a condom and take it off in the same minute.
That's true.
Sometimes condoms break.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know,
There's
The
also
thing
this
is-
thing called abstinence where you don't have to have sex.
the thing is, like, I do believe in pro-choice. Have your choice, right? Have your choice. Women should have a choice.
Mhm.
But the woman has to bear that choice.
It's true.
Okay.
And I'm sure that, an abortion is not exactly a great solution either. Like friggin', I'm sure it's horrible for the lady to have to go through all that stuff. I mean, it's not really easy. So I don't think we should put it into terms of like, hey, like friggin', we can just go get abortions every weekend or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
definitely don't feel like it should be birth control either.
No.
Like birth control, like open up the sections of government that hand out birth control for free, condoms for free, and teach kids about safe sex.
It's true.
Like, I do believe that you should be able to have an abortion under certain circumstances.
Yeah.
But I also don't believe you should be having an abortion every other week.
That's true.
No, you can't have an abortion as a form of birth control.
I don't think it's taken that lightly though, or that lightly as this is just like a form of birth control.
No,
Well, I
but
guess-
but people abuse it.
Yeah,
People
I guess
abuse
it's not
it.
really coat hangers and back alleys anymore. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a lot.
You know.
It's a different procedure now. I mean, they have the what is it, Plan B, that pill that you can take,
Yeah, the morning
Yeah.
after.
morning after pill.
You know, like there are solutions to problems, and solutions are not getting men vasectomies. It is actually
I
maybe
think
in
it is.
school
I really think it is.
teaching safe sex.
You neuter your dog, why not your son? That's all I'm saying.
You know, I guess that falls in the pro-choice category. It is not my life to but you know that gets into a whole new set of politics.
It's a
Yeah.
very complicated situation.
It is. It's all connected. Gun rights, freaking. I mean, the only part that bothers me is that this bill was passed by Republican
100%
men.
white dudes.
Yes, white dudes, old white dudes.
It's like you couldn't get one lady on the.
telling women what they can do with their bodies. I mean, that part bothers me.
Yeah, because
It is, but it is a very touchy subject,
Yes.
and that's why I'm not in politics,
No.
because I am under politics of myself. Like, I view things for my family.
I'm not.
Yeah,
saying,
if you
I'm not
take-
saying I'm right about vice giving. Kids
No.
vasectomy.
if you
like,
take from my
It's
life,
radical. Ooh, I know.
I wear condoms and we take every procedure to not get pregnant to avoid
Yes.
all of that. Because I do feel personally that once those two cells have combined, left unchecked, will create a human being. With enough luck and enough health, will create a human being. And
Yeah.
I feel like getting an abortion would be a loss to the world. I do believe that, but
Yeah.
for my own personal reasons, but I don't have a clue how you would implement that into law where you make abortions simultaneously like most people don't want abortions, but it should be free for everyone to do while also keeping it scarce. I think it's a really hard way to make that
Well, I
don't know.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think it's a form
make it
of
legal.
it is a form of control.
Yeah.
And if you look at the control, then abortions are now illegal. And it'll only be a matter of time before now, if you do have a kid, it has to be a male. Like with China, you can't have
Yeah.
girls. Those girls are pretty much dead.
Yeah.
So
So-
it's all about control, and you want to keep that choice aspect there, but also you want to facilitate practices in politics to make the choices safer and also like sex safer. Like let's get practical solutions. Like make condoms free.
Yeah, for sure. Like you should, if you're gonna ban
You know?
abortions, you should at least
Dude, yeah. Birth
increase
control for all.
birth control funding and.
But also I do know that birth control is not a one
not
all
100%,
end all
yeah.
solution. Like
Exactly.
my wife is on birth control and she went batshit fucking crazy, and she'll be
Yeah.
the first one to tell you that.
It's it messes with your emotions. and
You
stuff,
know,
yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
all about educating kids
Well, that's
about what the consequences are.
that's the kind of approach I'm taking with my daughter, who's now 15 and kind of getting in that area. It's just kind of like, I had this conversation with her the other day too, where it's like, I had kids too young, and like I told her, like, it's not that I regret having you, but it definitely derailed my life from where I was hoping it would go. Like it changed things for sure.
Yeah.
And I struggled for years to, take care of all these kids and stuff, and to like, I can't even describe what my life was like back then. It's just like, it seems like a dream, like so clouded. Like I have no idea what was I can't explain what decisions I've made.
Yeah, it's just a
looking back,
clusterfuck of emotions and feelings.
it seems like I was like a completely different person back then. Even like after it was like all over, and like I went back to California and I was like hanging out with my old friends and like, God, like Eric, like this is like old Eric now. Like freaking, like what happened during that time? Like I don't know, like I can't describe it. What I'm trying to instill in my kid is that kids are a heavy responsibility. Like if I didn't have kids right now, my life would be nothing but fucking brunches and fucking going on vacations and stuff like that. Like
No, but if you didn't have those kids, you wouldn't be in the situation you are right
that's
now.
true. That's true too.
You'd probably be dead in a ditch.
Yeah, I mean that's probably true. But you know, you like having
You had
kids
to grow
and
up
stuff,
fast. You had to grow up
grow up
fast.
fast. You have to give up certain dreams, and like it changes your priorities. I mean, for a responsible, good person, it does. Some people don't follow.
Yeah,
that.
some people just
Well, you know,
abandon their
like
kid.
Yeah.
it's tough because yes, we do have a bunch of Republican white males
Yeah.
deciding the fates of women and their choices, not the fates of women, but like and not giving them the choice. But on the other hand, you have states like that sex is illegal to talk about pretty much.
Yeah.
You don't
Kansas.
you're not allowed to teach sex ed. You're not allowed to teach these. You're not allowed to teach
Kansas.
kids about the consequences. You know, and I'm not saying every single time you have a baby is a consequence, but there are consequences with having a baby,
For sure.
and those aren't taught. Those aren't taught anymore. Sex ed is pretty much out of every single curriculum in the United States. Why?
And if it is, it's just like, don't have sex at all.
Yeah,
You
know,
will get a
it's bad.
disease and
Yeah,
die.
you know, like we need better education. Education
Yeah.
is key.
Mhm.
You know, having because I'm sorry, kids. Sorry, Eric. Earmuffs are gonna have sex.
Yes,
They're gonna,
they are.
and I think
It's
it
like
should
human
be
nature.
it should be the parents' responsibility, and it should to some extent the school's responsibility to educate women and men alike
Yeah.
about sex.
I mean, it's
This
true.
is an evolutionary thing that you feel that makes it so you can have another kid.
But on the
and
other spectrum,
This is the
you know,
21st century. You don't have to like listen to those things.
But on the other spectrum, like there's countries that are having so much fucking babies, they can't even control their population right now.
Yes.
You know, like look at
That one
India.
African
They have like
country.
Dear God.
India has billions of people in their fucking little tiny country they have there. How do they support all those people? They don't.
I
It
work.
turned into a third world. Half of it is a
Yes.
third world country,
I work with a shit ton of Indians.
and most of them have birth defects because there's so many fucking kids and incest and all that other shit. Sorry, keep going.
Oh no, it's fine. I work with a shit ton of Indians. None of them have,
Same.
None of them have anything nice to say about their home country. They
No, I
don't,
noticed
they don't
that.
want to go back.
Yeah.
How, I was gonna say his name, but no, like you're totally right because we of course work at the same company, but there's a lot of international presence there, and most of them from India. And yeah, they don't have a lot
They
of
don't
nice
have
to
a lot
say,
nice to say.
and a lot of nice things to say.
They don't want to go back home.
It's because it's overpopulated. It's
Overpopulated.
dirty. There's no food.
Dirty,
There's
hot.
hot. Like India's
A lot of very
main
uneducated
trade
people.
back in forever has been spices, and now like they don't have an economy to run there anymore.
No,
Yeah, it's changing rapidly.
let me use the bathroom.
Very much.
You guys keep going.
You know, it's crazy.
I'm gonna let the white men talk.
Yes.
Actually, John's technically still Mexican. He's Hispanic.
Pay no mind to my skin. According to my scholarship, I am Hispanic.
Yeah, you know, it's and hopefully I don't get like the wrong perception from our listeners or viewers, but you know, you have to have both sides try to work things out. You know, like there's compromises on both ends. You know, and there's problems and solutions and more problems on both ends.
Yeah.
You know, like you just can't ban abortions completely, but you also can't just abortions are 100% just do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, it's like it's a very difficult philosophical conundrum.
It is.
You know, like nobody, like not everyone is going to agree on these things.
Yeah, I agree.
But we
It's
just
tough.
got to give it time, and like just like the getting rid of guns, the only thing we can do is just increase our education on the matter.
Yeah.
And try and make better decisions and slowly like fix this issue that we have.
I have a
Because
different gun view.
what is your view on guns?
Everyone should have guns.
Because if everyone has guns, then we all defend ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
I
is,
seriously
the,
love you guys, by the way.
the only way to stop a bad guy with guns is a good guy with
Who's
guns.
with the good guy with guns? But how do we decide? I mean, it's so hard, right?
The thing is, like I said, let's just say, like, I am pro-gun, but I'm also pro-choice. I am a very independent, like, my politics run independent. I have views on both sides, and I'm not neither a Democrat or a Republican.
You should go to Maine,
But I
only
am,
independent state in the country.
I am pro-gun.
Good state.
I feel like everyone should have the right to own guns, have guns, and carry guns under certain, like, of course, you should have a concealed weapons permit.
yeah,
It would
you
be
know.
pretty cool if we were all like
maybe like mental health,
in the
evaluations
17th
to
century
buy
where
a
everyone
gun.
held
Yeah.
swords.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
The thing is, like, you know, like open carry, like I could open carry right now.
That's legal in the state. Yeah.
You know, maybe everyone should be open carrying their weapons.
And you go back
because-
to Wild West times.
'Cause the
Fucking
thing is, like,
holsters and-
All right, so you have way more good people than bad people.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah.
for sure,
And those few bad people could have been
those bad
stopped.
people make a lot of noise, though, man.
They do. But what if they were surrounded by good people with weapons?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
you do notice that these places that get shot up are gun-free places.
Can I tell you guys a story real quick?
Yeah, tell me a story.
We can
man.
get back
Such
to
as
we can get back to
schools.
guns.
I mean,
This is kind of in the same vein.
you know, it doesn't have to be. Like, we could change the subject, and,
All right.
and that's okay.
Well, no, it's kind of in the same vein a little bit, just about going from good people to bad people. I texted you guys about this the other day too. I went to Safeway to go
Finally,
yes,
finally, the story's
to
going
go
around.
yes to go buy some food. So I went, did some grocery shopping. I had my little cart, and I'm like walking up to the checkout. First off, there's a guy in front of me. He looked like bad. He looked like bad news to me. Like he
What was
looked,
he wearing?
I think he was wearing like sweats. I
Okay.
don't want. Yeah, I don't.
It's
wanna
always
talk
the
about it.
sweat. I definitely have a bias on sweats.
Yeah.
People.
No. This guy. I mean, he looked a little worse for the wear, is what
Okay.
I'm saying. And he had like a couple things in his little area there. And so basically, like, he pulls out an EBT card. EBT card's pretty much like a food stamp card. Right?
Yeah.
It's food stamps.
Yeah.
You go in and like you swipe it and stuff. And he did that, and his card was declined. Just like in my head, like I'm totally, I'm not a racist man at all, but I was judging this man. That's all I'm saying. I was judging this man from the minute I saw him. I was judging him. And, when I saw the EBT card too, I was like, oh, yeah. And then, so I'm like, just, being like, oh, hi, Mike. He's like arguing with the lady. My point is, I had a like weird, almost primal moment. So like he got his card declined. So he was leaving, and he, my cart was like right there in the way. I mean, he could have just walked past me, is what I'm saying. There was room.
Yeah.
But instead of just opting to walk past me without trouble, he fucking shoves my cart, and he does it in a way that's like violent, not at me, but like towards the thing. But it made an audible noise, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he just
It was very
shoved
disrespectful.
your
He
stuff.
shoved my cart, yeah, and it was like
You've
so
been
much
out of
so-
California for way too long.
right? Right. So I had him but he said excuse me when he did it. So he was like, excuse me.
So he
And he
so he's
shoved it.
pissed.
He's
angry.
pissed, yeah. And that kind of awoke something. For a split second, it awoke something in me. And I'm even looking at the teller or the clerk, and she's looking at me like, are you really going to just let that go? Like, you pussy. And like, I felt like she was judging me for not saying anything. And then,
she's
but
a
I-
cashier. Who
she's
cares?
a cashier, yeah. So, but
Hey,
I,
cashiers, they have lives too, man.
yeah,
Come on.
I had that moment where I wanted to say something. Not fucking the way this guy's attitude was, though. If I would have said something, that would have escalated the matter. I'm sure of it.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of just went through this. I had this whole play in my head. I'm just like, this guy's having a fucking bad day. I got a lot riding on in my life. Like, fucking, it's like no use to throw it all away.
You gotta pick
on
your
this.
battles.
Yeah. And I let it go.
Probably a good call.
Probably a good call. To this day, though, like freaking to this day, it just happened. It does kind of bug me sometimes that I did let it go. I don't know, like how do you guys?
What were you gonna gain
like
from that?
It was so. It took me back to like almost like teenage times. Like it was so weird because nothing like
Your
that.
flight or flight.
Yeah, nothing like that has happened in years. Like freaking, I don't think even out here. Like I've never experienced. I went back home one time, in California, and like I knew I was home because like I walked into a Burger King, and somebody was like walking past me, and like they gave me like a little psh, like look at like yeah, like
They gave you a.
they gave me like a psh. He said that he was like psh, and I'm like I know what that means. Dude.
So this story is
I'm home.
Yeah, uppy
Yeah.
motherfucker over here. Look at your clothes.
yeah, he
So
gave me a
fuck
little
you.
psh.
So this story is definitely less about the EBT card and
No,
all
no,
that
it's
stuff.
not about that.
And
It's
more about,
the fight or flight.
A
and
guy being
just-
an asshole.
Yeah, guy was
So-
an asshole. How do you handle those situations? It's like
You know how
a
I
lot
handle it?
different in your 20s.
I have a very, very specific thing that just happened to me, kind of like almost exactly like that.
Yeah,
That happened to me 2 weeks ago. Do you want to hear my?
I do.
My
I would
side?
love
so,
to.
Okay.
I would love-
So what did you do? You did nothing.
I did nothing.
All right.
Am I a pussy because I did nothing?
No. This is what I did.
That
And
term
I
is
almost
horrible.
I almost had the exact same situation, but a different context. So I'm working at my job, right? And I work with different locations, right? And so I park at this
Put
other
it right
location.
on my phone.
Kill that.
So I'm at this last location that I went to. I parked, and this one guy like starts yelling at me because I parked in his spot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a public location. And he's like, this is for customers only, blah, 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 blah. I was like, well, I'm here because of you, right? Like, I'm here, like, doing services for you. Like, the reason I'm here is to help you out.
Yeah, I'm not a customer.
I'm not a customer.
I'm here to fucking
Like,
help you.
I'm here to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And he bitches about the parking spot and starts yelling at me. I was like, hey, listen. This isn't your spot.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's my spot. And he looks at me. He's like, well, you could have parked over there. I was like, you know what? Next time you want this spot, get here before me. And he's like, are you being serious right now? I was like, dead serious.
Translation: fucking get good
I was like,
is
If-
the video game term.
Get your shit together. Man.
Like,
if
get
you
better.
really
than.
want this spot, get here before me, and don't be a fucking asshole because you didn't have this spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I just told him, dead serious. Looked him in the eyes,
You gave him those Tom Hardy eyes.
and yeah, he was like, I come here every day, and I was like, so do I.
Yeah.
Get here before me if you want this spot.
Is this somebody you worked with? Like,
No, this was the customer
just a customer.
just being an asshole because he wanted my spot,
Okay.
and I was like, dead serious.
Right?
here
Where's
before
your
me.
fucking name on this?
You know. So
I feel that.
different context, but I just told him.
At least you said something though.
Yeah, but you did have something to gain. You have a
Yes.
closer spot. You did, but if you said something, you would have gotten to an altercation.
Well, honestly,
and nothing really.
It wasn't
would have been
very
solved.
very much closer, and like I had a lot to lose because technically I'm working and he is a customer, and I pretty much told the customer to fuck off.
Yeah.
That's true.
That is true.
But the thing is, putting people in their place. Be like,
Yeah.
But the thing is, what I saw from your situation, from hearing you saw someone that was in distress.
Yeah. He looked like he was having a bad day.
He had
And
a
I
bad
can
day. He hit your
sympathize.
car. You're like, why make this guy's day worse?
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Me in my situation, it was okay. This guy's being just a straight up asshole, so I'm gonna tell him to fuck off in a more polite, way.
Professional. Fuck off.
A professional fuck off. You're looking at this guy. He's got his EBT card declined. He hit your
Yes.
car, whatever. He said, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
Why make it worse?
Right.
You know what? You shouldn't have said anything. Maybe you're like, "Hey,
I think
it's
I made
all
the
good.
right decision.
It's all good.
So.
You definitely did, man. In that situation, I've been like, it's all good, man.
Yeah.
You know, I would have been like, it's all cool. It's cool. You know.
Yeah. I think the more we as a society realize that everybody's engulfed in their own battle, I think that'll make us better people.
That is, man. And
Yeah.
and there's situations to be assholes to people, and there's situations to have a little bit of empathy.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, it's just
I'm a
something
very
you pick
empathetic
up
person.
after
Yeah.
living out there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm a very empathetic person, but if you're gonna be an asshole to me, like just straight up asshole, I'm gonna tell you otherwise. But if you're just having a bad day, and your bad day just happened to hit my cart, I'm not gonna get mad at you for that.
Yeah.
You know.
I was buying supplies for dinner that night. If things would have escalated, I wouldn't have been able to go home and make dinner.
Well, that, you know, the thing is, you looked at the situation, you looked what was going on.
Yes.
All right, this guy, maybe a little bit of sketch, whatever. Bad day, EBT card decline.
Yes.
Hit your cart. Kind of said sorry, whatever.
You did say sorry.
You know.
Oh,
but-
excuse me.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
But
Did
you
it in
know,
such
like
a way though, it didn't sound like excuse me. It sounded like fuck you. Like
Next
Yeah.
time you can add a little spice to it. You could be like, okay,
yeah, right.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir.
I wasn't part of this altercation, but thank you.
that's usually my first
Thank you
thing.
for
Like,
apologizing.
when I'm driving and
Just
people
kinda
flip
make
me
'em
off, I
feel
usually
bad.
wave at them.
Yeah.
You know, like I give them they flip me off and I wave at them. I was like, and I smile because what pisses them off more than a non-reaction.
yeah,
Plus,
they didn't get their
They didn't get their
reaction. that they
exactly.
wanted.
I'm 40. Like I'm almost 40. 20-year-old Eric probably would have handled
Yeah.
it differently, but 39-year-old Eric. Like,
You could just add in like a,
I feel
hey
grown.
man,
Yeah.
Well, the thing
Dude,
is,
keep
man,
on
like,
trucking, man.
you pick and choose your like when you get a little bit older, you pick and choose your battles.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
thing,
Sure.
like, I have full confidence that I could still whoop some ass,
Mm-hmm.
hell yeah.
but the ass I whoop is going to be very cerebral.
Yeah,
You know,
it's true. My only point really is that I got that flutter of
Yeah,
feeling
yeah,
alive
yeah.
for a second.
yeah,
I
yeah.
felt alive for a minute.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah.
There's definitely nothing wrong with that.
Just like that story. Just like that story. That's all.
I'm debating on whether we need another growler or not. What do you
Let's
guys think?
one more.
One more? Do you want to do a 3-hour pod?
Yeah, we
then
can do that.
Maybe,
Times of two.
yeah, 2.
I gotta
Let's,
go home and barbecue.
All right, so let's do a 3-hour pod. Let's get one more growler.
Do you have something else to do today?
Actually, my day kind of freed up a little bit more.
Oh, nice.
But I just don't want us to get too fucked up.
Oh, no.
You know, so
I
let's
have
do
to go barbecue.
yeah,
one
let-
more.
Let's do one more growler, and then let's spend maybe the last the next 15 minutes talking about. Do you want to do a random question?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do like maybe 2 random questions, then talk, and then
And we can go into Game of Thrones.
in the episode of Game of Thrones. How
Okay.
about that?
Let's do that.
And maybe we'll bring in Mary
I
for
like the
Murphy
random
Minute.
questions. Okay. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
have the Murphy Minute. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
I will tell you that I think.
Let's have a Murphy Minute.
Yeah.
Actually, let's just have a random question, and then with Mary here because she's watched all of Game of Thrones, and then we could do that.
Yeah.
Sound great?
I think the episode's been going pretty well so far. I
No,
think
this
it's
is an
more
awesome episode.
Focus.
Yeah.
I mean, last episode was my birthday, so things
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a little out of control. But
It happens every now and again.
yeah, every now and again.
You know.
But I think keeping things focused and more even keeled, I think it's
Yeah.
perfect.
All right, so let's do a random question with Mary, and then Game of Thrones.
That sounds good.
End it off. All right,
All right.
so let me get this mic ready for her.
Alrighty then. Let me see. Do I have any other topics we can talk about in the meantime? Let me see. Boop ba-doop ba-doop. Let's check this out. Eric's got his notes where he talked about Alabama. Denver's legalized mushrooms. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Have you seen the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer?
I have not.
Okay. It's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
I have seen the new Aladdin trailer though with
Have you seen the clip of him rapping the Prince Ali song?
Prince Ali. Yeah.
Yes.
What'd you think about it?
I think Will Smith is totally charming, right? Can we all agree on that?
Yes,
He's a very
yes, yeah,
charming guy.
yeah.
I have no problem with him playing a genie at all.
No.
It just seems cheap. Like it seems like really. I mean, they have a lot of things going on. It seems like cheap quality to me. Like they spent all their money on The Lion King, I think.
can that just be your phone, like making
I mean, it
things
might
look
be.
cheap?
It might be.
But honestly, I think what people have to realize is the Beauty and Beast reimagined, the different inflections in the voice and the different,
Yes.
you know.
And that was, I mean, with
But it was
these
a great
reboots,
movie.
It was a good movie, but you do like pick apart those those small inflections in the song where it doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
So like I totally get that. I think that's the only time.
I think it's gonna be great though.
I think it's the only time I've ever really been like, well, actually, it shouldn't be like. I
Wow,
get
that's
caught-
actually
yeah.
a C instead of a D
I'm gonna
minor.
get a growler,
Yes.
gonna get Mary, a random question, and then Game of Thrones.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
What did you think about? Did I send you that clip of the Prince Ali song with Will Smith?
Prince Ali.
I watched it.
It also
I
gives
thought
me,
it was okay.
It gives me flashbacks to like his "Here Come the Men in Black." Those days.
I was kind of surprised by how he was just standing there in front of a green screen.
Yes. Yes. It just seems like what I was telling John before he came in. It just seems cheap. Like it doesn't seem
A
like
little bit.
a lot of money was put into it. Like even going
Yeah.
to the other trailers with the
I felt the same way watching that
yeah.
video. That little promo that he does of Will Smith doing Prince Ali, it just seemed like he was standing in front of a green screen and he only had like 6 hours, so all he did was stand in one place and go like,
Yeah.
where you look at Robin Williams and he's like doing morphs and stuff. He's doing scenes and everything. I figured
Yeah.
Will Smith would be out there doing scenes and
Give us more of that,
like
right?
doing some dance moves, but he's really just kind of standing in the center in front of all the other
Yes.
actual good dancers, and he's just kind of like
It doesn't seem
doing
like
one
there's
move at a time.
It's like lacking energy, I think. Like 'cause- yeah.
Like he just came in on a Tuesday or
Yes.
something, and he was like, "All right, let's get this done."
Yes, with a Starbucks cup, and he set it down so he can film his shot for a couple minutes, and then went back to his trailer to
Yeah, and he went Prince Ali, and then he went back to his trailer, and that was it.
To your
It
point,
does feel like that.
to your point, it seems like they're dropping more money on the Lion King.
Yeah, I feel like Lion King sucked up all of that like CGI budget for sure. Because did you see that Endgame trailer? Or not
for
the
for Lion King during
for
the
Lion
Endgame.
King during Endgame? I was blown away by how good it looks.
Just that first
It's
shot
so
of Scar,
realistic.
it's awakened something to me. I think I'm very excited for it.
What awakened
coming
me
off,
was
I'm coming off
Rafiki.
Dumbo, which was awful, by the way. Tim Burton, what happened? That's all I'm saying.
It was too dark.
Yes.
It was too sad, too dark, too fucking weird.
This fucking Lion King movie looks fucking legit.
Yeah. Like seeing Rafiki open his eyes, that really made me want to like actually go out and buy like a 4K TV just
For
so I
sure.
could feel the same thing that I
super
was going to get.
excited.
Yeah.
There's that clip.
It looks really good.
There's that clip of them like doing the Hakuna Matata, like where they're walking across and they're like,
Yeah.
I was like, here we go.
And
This
the
is gonna
amount
be
of
great.
detail they put into the animals. One thing I noticed it immediately that is so good that it's kind of easy to notice is how realistic the movement of like Timon the meerkat is in comparison to like Pumbaa the warthog. Like the movement of them as they're walking across the log is like you were actually watching a meerkat and a warthog
Yes.
following each other, and a lion.
I feel like I'm almost.
It wasn't stylized at all. It was pure realism.
Yes. I feel like I'm almost taking it for granted too. Like how fucking good this movie looks.
Like
There's
you
that-
know those animators studied long and
Yes.
hard about every movement that animal made.
If like friggin' there's a scene where when you first see Scar and stuff, and he does like a little like a lip sneer, just like a little
It goes,
yeah, like a little thing like that. I'm like, oh my god, this is like fucking photo real. Like if I,
yeah.
This looks
What
like
if
a
a lion did
how
that?
did they get a real lion to do this? Is what I'm saying. It looks great.
It looks fucking phenomenal,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very excited.
Looks amazing.
Yeah. I haven't been
And in
super
contrast,
into
Aladdin
the
looks horrible. Is what I'm saying.
yeah. it's kind of like a repeat of what happened in the 90s. Like Aladdin was okay, very acceptable, quite obviously acceptable, but Lion King was just beautiful and intriguing,
Regal.
regal, and like it really made you feel like you were a part of that story because it was very metaphor heavy and it was like a Shakespearean tale. You know, it's Hamlet.
Aladdin's more Triple H, and Lion King's more Hunter Hearst Helmsley, I would say.
Exactly. Yeah, like you can take the story of Lion King and like add it to your own life and stuff.
Do you guys remember the first time seeing Lion King at all?
Absolutely.
Not the first time I saw it because I was very young.
Dude,
but
I saw it in the theater. That opening scene
As did I.
with the circle of life and that shot where it cuts to black and it's like it says the title or it's like doom. I was
Lion
like
King.
like somebody fucking punched me in the goddamn chest. Like that
Yeah.
was epic.
Super high quality.
Oh my god.
Very good.
To this day, by the way, with the Lion King, there's only a couple movies that do this to me. Let me line this out. Let me use this in the form of a question.
Lay it on me.
Did you ever have a movie, maybe even a show, that brought out like an emotion in you, like an experience? Can you remember it pretty well? Like I would say, here's an example. The first time I remember being scared in a movie was actually The Karate Kid Part 2. I was a huge fan of The Karate Kid Part 1. And then I saw it on VHS and stuff. I didn't see that one in the theater. But when Karate Kid 2 came out, my parents took me and we went because I was like such a big fan. And there's a scene in there where Chosen, who's the villain in there, like he's like fucking up the Miyagi-Do dojo and like he's like breaking things and stuff. And Daniel's like, that's like the first time I remember feeling
Like
fear, like real fear. Like I am scared, Daniel Russo. Like I hope you're all right. I know. My point is, to this day, anytime I see that Mufasa death, that fucking long live the king, I don't care if I've been watching the movie from the beginning or if I'm just coming in at that time. That scene gives me the chills like every single fucking time I get the chills.
It's a timeless story.
It's almost like a sinking feeling that I feel in my heart when Mufasa just, ah! Oh my God. That movie is just good. Like, it should have won Best Picture.
The fact that it didn't is crazy.
Yeah.
It was because they didn't care about animated movies at the time.
Yeah. Well,
But now they...
Beauty and the Beast was the first movie ever nominated for Best Picture. I don't think The Lion King.
The old Disney one or
yeah,
the
the
new
old Disney one.
Oh, okay.
That's the first animated movie
How
ever
did that-
nominated for Best Picture. It
So
didn't
Lion
win.
King didn't even get nominated?
No, it didn't even get a nod, man.
With the
Which
amount
I
of
think-
like...
I think The Lion King
Globalization,
is a better
they had
film
that.
than Beauty and the Beast too.
I think so.
that might be one of the top Disney movies.
Yeah,
so
because that one
fucking
just
good.
brought in everybody in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like Swahili singers to Hollywood writers. Everyone was a part of that Lion King. To Broadway singers.
Do you guys have a film that can get that can consistently give
Like,
you an
give you
emotional
emotional?
response?
Film that always gives me.
I feel very strongly about Princess Mononoke,
Yes,
and
that's a good one.
Hayao Miyazaki movie
Mm-hmm.
is afterwards I feel a very strong feeling that I am just kind of wasting the world as it is now, because like the world is this place that you can do anything, and like I don't know, it just seems like I'm wasting away just being a consumer when I see Princess Mononoke, because it's all about like the natural spirits of the world and how they got overtaken by like basically human ingenuity and stuff like that. And we're not really meant to survive in an area that is like taken over by industry, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're meant to be in nature, you know. And it makes me feel that way too. that I feel like afterwards I feel like this horrible consumerist, like kind of like Karl Marx is yelling at me.
Narcissist nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you obviously had one with Star Trek recently. I mean,
Yeah, Star Trek has
Discovery.
definitely given me like almost like nerd boners,
Mhm.
right? But I think the movie and or like TV show that's given me the most emotion, and my emotion is curiosity,
Mhm.
is MythBusters.
Oh yes, that's a good show too.
I love that show, and it, like curiosity wise, it is always just, like I could rewatch episodes and just
That show makes me happy.
Yes, it makes me very happy for that, and
For
it just brings out creativity and curiosity in me. That is,
Yeah, in a good way too.
yeah, like I love MythBusters is probably my top 3 favorite TV shows.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's really good. I like it.
I think that's definitely in my top 3 most watched, because my younger years it was all Mythbusters and
Yeah.
just Discovery Channel in general.
Like
It-
I'm very
It definitely fills that
like,
void
history,
of.
curiosity. Like I'm very on that. Like those are my shows. Like
I got recently. I don't know how recently, but Queer Eye on Netflix, the new one. That
Mhm.
one's it's pretty deep sometimes. It's good. It's really
The one
good.
show that I've been watching Yu-Gi-Oh, which is like Pokemon
Mhm.
but with cards. That one, I don't know if it's just pure nostalgia, but that elicits an emotional reaction to me heavily,
Nice.
just because it's a card game, but it's all about like persevering and never stopping like your strategy,
Mhm.
even when your opponent might quote clearly have a better understanding of the game than you, but you keep persevering and you can win the game, you can win the match, as Yu-Gi-Oh did.
That's
And I've been watching it. It has like 6 seasons. I'm like on
Really?
season 3. And
I've never seen it. I gotta give it a shot.
It's like a more serious Pokemon.
Okay.
Makes you feel good about yourself and makes you feel like you do have some control in your life, because it's the metaphor, of course, is like all about how you should always keep to your strategy, you know.
Yeah.
You can't just stop, because that's guaranteeing your failure. And that was just it's a good show.
it is
It's
good.
good.
It sounds,
I think it's a good one for young people to watch, for sure.
Emily and I are watching. We rewatched Ragnarok for like the 20th time.
It's a good buddy
It's
movie,
a,
isn't
it's,
it?
it's a hard movie not to laugh with. Like, freaking,
Yeah, easily.
we've seen it so many times and just like laughed through the whole thing. It's good. Joy,
Yeah.
a lot of joy in that movie.
So I have a question for you guys. Random question segment.
Random question time.
Random.
It's the random question time.
Random question.
Random question. Question number one.
All right.
Question 1.
What's the best thing about traveling, and what's the worst thing about traveling?
Go.
The worst thing about traveling is being an eyesore to the locals. And I feel very self-conscious about that. I went to Portugal and Spain and France, and it's very easy to just be labeled as like a stupid ass American, because you don't notice it when you're living here, but when you travel abroad, you notice that every one of your shirts and your shorts are like this giant conglomerate company that you bought from, and just has all of their logos everywhere at all times, that you kind of get the feeling that nobody likes you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of true. But the best thing about traveling is that you learn that exact thing, and that being an American doesn't mean you're the fucking salt of the earth just because
True.
you're
It's
some
perspective,
American. Like,
yeah.
there's a lot to learn from other cultures. And I think that's
Are-
the best thing about
Are
it.
we the best country in the world? It's arguable, man.
Yeah, it's totally
Depends
arguable.
on where you live.
Yeah, it's true.
And depends on like what
They're
you're
pretty
talking about. What's the best?
They're pretty shitty parts of America too, though, man.
There sure is, man.
Yeah.
Do you want to go
definitely
next or
is.
last?
I'll go next.
Alright.
My favorite part. I love traveling, by the way, and I think my favorite part of it is that. So shittiest part is probably airport security. Having to go through all that, waiting in line.
TSA.
TSA. Just being a brown person, like they seem to fucking really single me out sometimes. But
If you're a lonely man,
You should be thankful you're in the United States.
yeah, that's true.
Other European companies, their TSA equivalent is
Mhm.
way more strict, and
Really?
they're definitely racial biased.
Oh Jesus.
Yep.
for sure, yeah.
Best part.
But like, sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, go ahead.
But Israel is one of the most racially biased, strictest TSA, and they have never, or maybe only one in the history of their service, had a hijack.
Really? I
Like
mean,
they are the most safe
of course,
airline
yeah.
to fly on. But anyway, continuing. Sorry.
My favorite part is just the freedom of traveling. An airport terminal is a no judgment, like it's like the
That's like
perfect place.
globalism
Yes,
personified.
Yes, it is. It's beautiful. I love terminals. You can have a beer any time of day. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter 8 in the morning.
Yep.
Doesn't
Bloody
matter
Mary.
what time it is.
Seriously.
And
Bloody
nobody's
Mary,
gonna
yep.
look at you any
Yep.
different. It is a
Yep.
judgment-free zone. You are
Yeah,
traveling.
who knows where you came from?
Yep.
And plus, you're traveling. You're on vacation, or you're going somewhere. You don't have any responsibility, so you can just be that open to walk into just any place at freaking 11 o'clock and like day drinking. It's the best part of traveling.
You know,
Say.
this
Yeah.
would have been
Without
a
judgment.
this would have been a perfect question for my pilot friend. We should have him on the podcast and ask him.
Oh
this
yes,
question,
yes,
like,
you're right.
because he flies all the time.
Mhm.
So
He
my
drinks
turn.
all the time too. Isn't it?
I'm sure. Yeah. So my best part of traveling. So me and my wife, we travel a lot, and we usually do it by car. And the best part about traveling is being in that car for 12, 13, 14 hours, listen to music, conversing, doing all that
that's
stuff.
nice.
You know, like it's just me and her and the road, which is awesome. It's fun. You know, just driving
For sure, yeah.
14 hours, listen to music, listen to podcasts, listen to comedy,
Yeah.
just me and her, just hanging out. Awesome.
Yeah, me and my best friend.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. The worst part about traveling for me and most of my circumstances is family, because we're usually traveling to see family
Don't get me started on that. I totally agree.
and the juggle, because we have two families that we have to see, and it's like a strict curriculum of we gotta see this family this time from here to here, this family from this time from here to here, and every single day is a planned curriculum and hours
Oh, battery died.
of everything.
No more light.
You know, so it's
It's
just
okay, we're still on.
Nothing worse than fucking wasting a vacation on family.
yeah, it's just so planned all the time, and like the curriculum has to be strict or else your families get pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
and-
didn't
and
spend any
whatnot,
time
you know?
here.
Exactly. So we have to
Ugh.
make it equal. We have to make everything equal, or else it's just a shit show.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So lesson learned: travel outside the country.
Yeah, I need
Have a real vacation.
That's what me and my wife need to do. We need to have a real vacation, just me and her, and we go to Europe or wherever. I think
And
our
just
next
have a
big,
ball.
big vacation is going to be Ireland, and we're going to like
Ooh,
fucking
Ireland,
live
yeah,
that shit up.
Hell yeah.
We're going to live that shit up, and I cannot wait to where there is no family involved in our vacation. Obviously,
Nice.
we can't drive there, but next question.
Our next vacation that we're planning now is I'm actually going to fly my mom up here to watch our kids. Is the Greek islands. We're gonna go there, yeah, check it out.
Oh, the next one I'm going to is Hawaii.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah, my dad's spoiler, my dad's new wife. I hope
Oh,
you're
she's
not
Hawaiian.
I hope you're not my mom, but his new wife is Hawaiian, and they're totally gonna fly us out there.
I want to hear more about your mom's boyfriend, Angel. I'm very fascinated
He's
about him.
He's a
He's a
bouncer for
bouncer?
a club,
That's-
and pretty similar to my mom in a lot of ways.
It
It's
just sounds so
kinda-
fascinating to me. It's like I really love that story. My
Yeah.
my mom's
My
got with,
parents were kind of an odd couple.
yeah. My mom got with a car salesman named Greg. It's not that interesting. It's definitely not an angel. That's what I'm saying.
He has hand tattoos.
Really?
Yeah. that-
Ooh, hand tattoos.
I would.
But
I would.
you know what he does
I've
have?
been thinking about getting a hand tattoo of my dog's paw right here.
Ooh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Steve.
Funny you should say dogs. The one thing that kind of proves him as a good person is how he breeds dogs. He breeds pit bulls,
Oh, really?
but they're like the most beautiful, like taken care of pit bulls you would ever see. Like
Well,
no
you know-
docking, no anything, and that really put in
Nice.
perspective. Like
Nice.
maybe he is kind of like into the whole naturalist. Like people should just be the way they are
Yeah.
and stuff. He doesn't fight dogs or anything. He just
Well,
has
if
the.
you did, you couldn't say it online anyway because that shit is illegal.
It is the
Yeah.
leagues.
But if he was, I would totally report him.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
give a
you-
fuck who he
Absolutely.
is.
That's
As
Just
an
you
awful
fuck him.
person.
as you should, man. And the thing is, that goes to the whole adage is it's not the pit bull, it's the owner.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 dogs now.
And I fucking love the pit bull that my mom has now.
Yeah.
Salt of the earth.
I have 1.5
Greatest dog I've
dogs.
ever
I have a old basset
Yeah, what's
hound.
up with that dog that's always here now?
It's our we dog sit.
Oh, okay.
So
the pilot?
So yeah,
Yes.
so my pilot friends, like when he's flying and he has like, you know, weeks or a week long flight, you know, we dog sit. And she's awesome. Her and Odie get along very well.
Yeah, that's
which is
awesome.
awesome. They cuddle and stuff.
Was he in the Air Force?
No.
Or did he get a pilot's license?
He went to college for a pilot. Like,
Gotcha.
yeah, he is.
So I would like to ask him.
Yeah,
I would
well,
like to fly a plane for a living.
we.
Oh, that would be
sounds like a
That'd be
cool-
sweet. It does sound like a good
It
job.
sounds like a
He-
sweet gig, honestly.
He went. It's a sweet
And
gig.
you can hang out in terminals all the time.
so
there's
it is.
no
a-
judgment.
Admirals.
So it
Admirals
is
Club.
definitely something you have to talk to him about. It is a sweet gig, but it's also a lot of politics and a lot of moving up,
For
and,
sure.
and a lot
Yeah.
of seniority involved, and a lot of hours. So I was watching this video, and a reason there's not a lot of pilots and there's a pilot shortage right now
One more time.
Mhm.
is because it costs too much schooling to
Get the full-fledged commercial pilot.
exactly.
Yeah.
You have to put in so many hours, and a lot of the time you're paying for those hours to be able to become a commercial pilot.
Yeah,
And it's so regulated, which is good because you want the safety aspect of it.
for sure.
But there's just, you know, they are making it very hard to become a personal commercial pilot. It's just, you
Yeah,
know,
I'm
like
seeing
a
a
lot
lot
of these
of-
pilots are, you know, $150,000 to $200,000 in school debt.
Mhm.
And in order to start making really good money, you have to be with a company you're working for 10 or 20 years. So by the time you're at the 10-year mark, you're barely making any money to be able to support like your debts,
Yeah.
you know. So it's,
It makes sense. Like looking it up, I noticed that it was a lot of
but it's fun.
like just airlines that are willing to pay for your education, but you have to sign a contract to
With that airline.
that airline for
which is
many
good though.
years.
Which is good because before, like it was all on the person to get the education. At least now the airline is actually paying for that education,
yeah,
which is good. Which is going to help the industry out because right now there's a super shortage of like competent pilots.
yeah, especially
So-
competent.
So you it's good that the airlines are doing that. So let's get one more question and then talk about some Game of Thrones.
Yep.
All right. Next question. Next question is: would you rather spend the day in an art, history, or science museum?
I
Art,
think
history, or science
history
museum?
is going to be the best museum. Science museum is a close second. I will admit, I went to the Air and Space Museum, the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum. Really good. Really good. Art museum, it was okay, but the Natural History Museum, phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think I would definitely choose the History Museum because I feel like we know a lot more about that. And I think we're more connected to our past than
In the future.
the future, for sure.
It's true.
Good way to put it in words.
I'll go in second since you went second last time. also go history. I'm a big history buff. I love history. Science is awesome, and I also follow science crazily, and I love science fiction and I love real science. But history is it is what it says. It's the history of everything, man. I love hearing stories.
Yeah, and you can find so many enlightening things just learning
so many
about
stories
what happened in
about
the past.
Exactly. I love history. Like, I would love to spend a day in a history museum, like a really good one. Or just like on this podcast, someone that I like has a history major, I would love to fucking pick their brain on history.
Yeah.
You know, so definitely for me,
There's-
a history museum.
There's so much more to any piece of history than what was taught in like public school.
well, you have
like
to think.
in 8th grade or something.
How much history is there right now compared to how much science and future there is right now? Well, the future is tomorrow and beyond, which there is technically a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, we have experienced a lot more history than there is future.
It's true.
But art is also, yeah, we both.
Yeah,
Art's
not
up
to
there.
say that art is not important.
I'm an artist, so yes, I would. I like art museums. I'm fascinated about it. I
The
don't know
one
what
thing
I'd
that's
pick.
sad that I would say why I wouldn't choose art is that it is kind of sad to say this out loud, but most art has been done already.
That's true.
A lot of art has been done.
I guess it depends on what art museum. Maybe like the Louvre in Paris or something. That'd be
Yeah,
nice
you
to
can
go
get
to.
original.
I mean,
places,
let's just say
original pieces at these
any
places.
like the best of the best museum.
Yeah,
like
okay.
you're seeing everything.
Science is also fun because there's a lot of things to play with in science
Yeah.
museums.
Yeah.
I have this weird. Yes, I would probably choose history as well. I have this weird, almost obsession with the American West in the 1800s. Like,
Ooh, yeah.
that's why I love that Red Dead Redemption game so much. Like, fucking, I can just.
It's very compelling.
Yeah, I don't even fucking do missions half the time. I just fucking ride around on my horse because, like,
Yeah.
I must have lived in those times or something. I'm like obsessed with it. Like, fucking, I would love to do that. Just to live on an open plain, fucking ride around
On your ranch.
Yeah. or just camp out in front of the stars. Like, I feel like that would be peace for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it's true, and when we all die, we all have our own little heavens, and we can have like whatever we want. That'd probably be my heaven and stuff, just to be on the plains,
In a campfire, hunting.
living off the land.
Yeah, you know, yeah,
freedom.
yeah, that's
That
awesome.
Feels like freedom to me.
Yeah, freedom. Hashtag freedom.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
All right. So let's get in the down and dirty.
Da 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 dun 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 dun.
Oh my God, are you ready?
I'm ready.
For tonight?
I am ready
can't
for
even, I
that.
have to stay off social media. Emily's not going to be in town till tomorrow, so I can't watch it.
Just watch it.
What?
Yeah,
I'm
she's
sorry.
not going to be in town. should
I'm
probably
sorry.
just
I
watch
like
it.
every-
How am I supposed to talk to how am I supposed to talk to you tonight when I watch it? Because I'm watching it at 5 o'clock after dinner with a bottle of wine. How am I supposed to do it?
God.
Eric, just watch it.
I should just watch it. Just with a bottle of wine. We can
And
live
just
podcast
rewatch it and then expand on that later.
I have a
But-
bottle of wine chilling in the fridge just for that.
How-
They,
how-
when I went to Costco yesterday, they have I almost bought it too. They have pints of Giant's milk.
Ooh. Nice.
You probably don't get the reference, but yeah.
Just
Wait,
the word
me
Giants
and Mary
milk
have a golden
sounds
Ale,
hilarious.
a
Yeah.
Game of Thrones golden ale that we're gonna drink
Ooh,
tonight.
nice.
Are we gonna pop it?
Sweet. I'm very excited.
We're not gonna pop it, but me and Mary are gonna pop it.
Okay.
Naked later, covered in Giant's milk.
Naked.
So, are you not gonna watch it tonight?
No, I don't have HBO.
I was talking
I'm not
to Eric.
huge into Game of Thrones, but
I was
whatever.
talking to Eric.
I don't
Oh, then fuck you.
I don't want to put it on record on what I will or will not do tonight.
Eric, will you just text me if you have watched
Yes, I
it?
will.
Well, I will just give you a dot.
Yes.
I'm watching it tonight, so you know what? Maybe I just won't text you till tomorrow.
What do you? You don't give a fuck about spoilers, right? What'd you think of that last episode? Holy fuck!
Yeah, it was crazy.
Spoiler alert. Just
spoiler alert, yeah.
If you watch Game of Thrones and you haven't seen the new episode, just stop now.
What do you
please.
think about this whole season in general?
Well, the
Like,
whole
like-
season, like,
You've been warned. Now go.
cool. Thank you, John. You have been warned. The whole season, I feel. Actually, I kind of feel this from last, all the way from last season, the last couple episodes. I feel have been rushed.
Yes, I get that. as well, which is so odd. Like, it's been 2 years since the last season. You think they'd have like more than enough time to build up, and why go 6 episodes instead
Well,
of
the book's not even written yet.
That's
He's
true.
still finishing the book. So technically, the books ended at the Battle of Winterfell.
Okay.
That's when the books ended. So everything after this is going from. It's not going from source material.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going from J.R.R. Martin's notes.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm feeling it's very rushed. A lot of story arcs are being like just tossed to the wayside.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of there's a lot of betrayal of some certain decisions made that I don't feel is correct for the character.
Like, I am very pissed off about Jamie Lannister's
I am
character.
too. Like, what the fuck? It doesn't
So
make any
how did he
sense.
die? Did
Yeah.
he die?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
He got crushed
supposedly-
by stones
He got-
with
yeah, yeah.
Cersei.
Yeah, it was Cersei. Yeah.
Oh my god! And by the way, Cersei's death. I'm assuming she is definitely dead.
She got crushed.
God, talk about a case of blue balls. She has been like the worst character in this whole
Yes.
show.
They didn't even
her-
give you a satisfying
Yes,
ending.
for her
No.
to not go out, that she should have had the most awful death in this whole series.
She
And-
should
Like,
have.
just-
Yes,
And it didn't happen.
it didn't happen.
And I will have to say that next week's podcast should elaborate more,
Yes,
and it will have the final picture. Maybe they will totally redeem themselves.
maybe.
But right now, I
Who's to
feel
say?
I don't- I'm a little-
underwhelmed.
I'm nervous that they're not going to stick the landing for sure.
Maybe
Yes,
it could also be an Infinity War kind of thing, like all hope is lost at the end. But then last episode,
This is
you
the
know,
last episode. though.
bring it back.
Like I have
make it compelling.
People are really like
I'm a
up in
positivist.
arms over Daenerys, over her. She turned heel pretty much.
yeah. she turned
Yes,
into an
Turned
asshole.
heel.
She killed some people.
So like I'm not as upset because I did kind of see that coming over the course.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yes,
felt
yes.
fucking crazy rush. Like it doesn't make. Like I can understand what they're
I
going
underst-
for.
yeah.
But the decisions that she made to like fucking burn.
It was like
ground,
this.
It doesn't make sense either.
was
Like, for her
step-
character.
From an outside perspective,
It was
I could
totally
see
emotional.
that as like that's a very George R.R. Martin, like absolute power corrupts absolutely. You're gonna just lay waste to people who
I just don't
when you're
feel-
very powerful.
Like it was earned. It was very Star Wars,
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker, not earned, turned to the dark side.
From my
About time you
perspective, the Jedi are evil, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
about time you start talking shit about Star Wars. But yes, I agree. It was so rushed, man.
It was.
You know,
One episode, yeah. That's
I don't
rushed.
understand it. I really don't.
She
It was
went from-
definitely shocking.
she went from I'm not gonna become the Ash Queen to the Ash Queen
Yes.
in
She
one episode.
burnt that
without
city
any
to the
dialogue
crest.
in between.
Yeah.
It-
I mean, she didn't even talk. We didn't even see her hardly this episode. We just saw her dragon burning waste to everything.
But-
And okay. I will say the Hound in the mountain fight.
That was epic.
That was
Yes, I
epic and
liked
worth it.
Oh,
Yes.
spoiler, but who won?
They
Did
both
the
lost.
Hound? They
I
both
think-
lost.
They both
Okay.
lost, but I think it was more of a moral victory for the Hound.
Yeah.
Okay,
'Cause
good.
he-
Because I
he-
wanted the mountain to die.
He got got sent out with his fears, the fire. So he pretty much killed his brother the same way that
Yes.
with the fire deforming his face and his fear of fire, he plunged him and his brother together into a burning fucking pit of fire, which was just he
It was
overcame
hardcore.
it. He
Yeah,
overcame
his fear.
he overcame his fears to defeat his brother.
And even his little talk back and forth with fucking Arya beforehand, like do you want to end up like me? Like this is where revenge leads you. Like do you
Yeah,
wanna be
this
like this?
face right here.
Yes, I'm going here to die. This is not what revenge isn't worth it. This is what I'm doing. Like he knows he's going there. He's not going to make it out. He's
Yeah.
going to die.
Yeah.
Like
The last ditch effort.
the whole season for him, his whole arc was that moment.
Yes.
And
That was handled very well.
I wish they did that with every character. Like every character needed that arc, because every character we've fucking been building for that.
Yeah.
Like
Jamie
8
going back to
seasons.
Cersei does not make any sense.
no, not at all. Especially after becoming a good, like what was it like season? When was he captured as a prisoner and let go?
Maybe 3 or 4.
That was his turning point
Yes.
of becoming a good guy, and he's been a good guy ever since then. And all of a sudden, he's like, I'm always the bad guy.
Yeah, I thought
Bullshit.
there was like going to be some. I thought he was going to kill Cersei, and I was like, that'll be good. Like that's
Not there to die with Cersei.
not there to die. I didn't see that coming. I thought it was a betrayal of his character and his whole arc. He grew so much to have him fucking relapse like that. It's not satisfying.
Yeah.
It's not satisfying, but is it real?
I don't think it's real. Either.
No.
You don't think it's real?
No.
So what surprises are you seeing in this next episode? Like a little bit of prediction. Let's do a little bit of predictions.
All right. Oh, one other thing too. Another highlight was Jaime and Tyrion. Like fucking, they had that little moment and
Yep.
thing where he's like, "Hey man,
So
if it wasn't for you, fucking."
Tyrion went full circle.
Yeah, he
It
did.
went full circle. That was a good character arc.
And he's like,
going
I'm
the full circle.
gonna get you out of this little like fucking.
Yeah.
I owe you so much, brother. Like fucking, yeah. That was pretty deep.
It was pretty deep. Oh man, like
So obviously,
the whole Jon Snow, Daenerys, Sansa, Bran. There's so much that needs to be followed up in this episode right now.
yes.
Like so much.
Obviously, she's got a hard on for Sansa. I think that's where she goes next. Is probably
Well, the thing is, that's where Jon Snow is going to be like, you know what? You're not my queen anymore.
yeah.
Because Jon Snow pretty much, once he found out that he was related to Daenerys, is like, I'm sorry, we can't be this.
You're my aunt. I
You're-
cannot fuck
yeah.
you anymore. I'm sorry.
But he also has the rightful heir to the throne.
Yes. So he's also a threat. So she's got to get.
I think.
How does this end? How does it end?
Ooh.
So
Is
honestly,
the Iron Throne even there anymore after fucking all that shit?
honestly, this is how I feel it ends. I feel it ends with Sansa running the Iron Throne and Jon going up north.
I kind of
to-
feel that way. I think Sansa's going to take over. Does
think-
Jon go up north or does Jon die?
I think Jon goes north. I think Jon helps Sansa take the throne, and then Jon is like, "Hey, this is yours. I'm going up north to be with my people."
Kind of think about it. Really true. It's like.
So does that mean that it's just gonna go to season 1 again? Where it's just Jon Snow as Sean Bean,
Hear
and
me
that's
out.
it,
Hear me out here. Hear me
and the
out.
cycle continues?
What I think.
Because that would be very George R. R. Martin.
What's the brother? Bronn
Ron,
with the
yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
I think what's going to happen.
Bran or Braun?
Brawny.
I'm trying to just
Whatever.
follow
It's Bran or Braun.
Bran or
Whatever.
Bronn.
the kid in the wheelchair.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I just want to
So,
make sure that
The episode's going to go all down because this is by. Didn't these guys write Lost? Or no, they didn't.
They wrote a little bit of Lost. D&D,
Here's how it's going to
the
end.
2 Ds.
It's going to end dumb. It's going to end stupid, just like Lost did. So what's going to happen is that whatever's going to happen is it's going to play out in the episode, and then at the very end, Bronn's going to wake up as a kid from when he got pushed out of the tower,
Oh.
And it's gonna all be a dream.
and it was all a dream. He's like, because he's like the three-eyed raven guy.
Yeah.
So he's gonna wake up and tell Sean Bean like, "Holy fuck, Cersei's bad. This is what's gonna happen," and then that's the end of the show.
Damn.
That'd be the biggest
Mic
upset I've ever seen.
He's gonna
Mic
tell the
drop.
king. He's gonna tell the king, "Hey, don't trust that bitch.
Well,
it's
you-
not your kid."
He would tell
And
his
then that's
dad.
the
Yeah, he'll tell his dad. Yeah.
that's a very George R. R. Martin thing to do. Like that's fucking life, bitch.
So I did.
He's gonna go because he can leap and shit. He can quantum leap.
So I did hear like a little bit of symbiosis with Lord of the Rings. So George R. R. Martin was a very big Lord of the Rings J.R.R.
tell.
Tolkien fan.
yeah,
So it might
I mean,
end
Game
up,
of Thrones pretty much is Lord of the Rings with more rape and incest. That's
yeah. So it might end up in the
Bit
same
more of a
way.
realistic-
So Daenerys is Gollum,
all. Mm-hmm.
Jon Snow is Frodo, and then
I can see that.
so how that whole story plays out. So Frodo technically wins, but he also loses at the same time
Yes.
yeah. He's never the same after that.
after that battle.
He's
So
permanently fucked.
So, so maybe with Daenerys and her conquest for the ring and the conquest for the throne, actually loses everything in conquest, and Jon Snow is the only one to bring
She
it.
gets her finger
bring it
bit
neutral.
off, and she
Bring
She
it
dies,
neutral.
right? She dies.
She has to die.
Yeah. Probably the poetic thing would be to kill her on the throne, and then she dies on the throne, probably, because that's what she's been sought. She's been searching for that her whole life. So
I'm gonna watch it tonight, Eric. I'm
Die on
sorry.
her drone would be very throne would be very poetic.
I'm gonna send you a picture like this after it's done.
Can we cut this part out? Can we cut this part? I'm probably gonna watch it too.
All right.
We won't tell anybody.
I won't tell.
Just when
Only
it's
if it
playing
later-
later
It's been quite
with
the
your
journey. It's been
with
quite,
your SO, you'll be like,
oh, 'cause what else am I supposed to do? Stay off social media for the next fucking?
You
No,
can't
She
do
gets
that.
home, Jesus
You
Christ.
can't do that.
No.
You gotta watch it tonight. I'm sorry.
okay, like if it was any
much as
other
I love-
episode in the world, then yes, wait for your SO. But it's the last episode. Come on, it's the series finale.
And I don't want to get
Come
spoiled
on.
for me. I was lucky enough to not have Endgame spoiled for me at all. So
Uh,
I really want that for
It's because
Game
I
of Thrones.
yeah.
And I didn't even earn it, really. I mean, fucking Emily's been watching for like week by week episodes for years. I barely got into this last year where I just
Oh,
got
damn.
to fucking, I got to just fucking just binge the whole thing.
You didn't have to like wait for seasons to
No.
come out or anything like that.
I was this dude that we were like watching at night, and I would seriously stay up till 3 a.m. watching fucking episodes. It was so good. I would recommend it for you, man. Pirate it. Fuck it.
Yeah. That's what I am.
I can watch
What?
it. It's just
What?
it's
What?
every episode's so
hold on.
long.
I have HBO now. I have HBO Go. So if you want my login, I'll give it to you. So you watch Game of Thrones.
I just don't have anybody to watch it with.
You know, the
Also
thing is,
myself,
That's the whole of it.
because it's just so long and
It is, but it's worth the journey.
it's only 10 episodes a piece, an hour long. It's really not that much.
yeah,
10 episode seasons.
Speaking of my earlier question,
there's not a lot of resolution.
Yeah, but it's better than 40-minute episodes with 20 episodes long.
That's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of my earlier question with the emotional response, there was one death in this show that was scarring to me.
Hodor.
Yes, Hodor.
Hodor.
Yes, very scarring.
Dude, that
It's worth
was.
the journey. Just to
You know
see
what? I'm
that
gonna bring it up.
episode. Pull it up.
We are not getting
Copyright be
paid.
damned.
Hold the door. Hold the door.
Who's the other dude too? The Spanish guy that the fucking mountain caves in his
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
head. That was an awful death too. Ugh.
Oh,
That was brutal.
I wrote that
So-
down on my notes. Is that I watched The Equalizer 2, and it has Javier. What's his
Yeah,
name?
Bardem.
He has an eye gouging thing that is happening with
In
his
his contract. that he
in his
always has to
contract,
be eye gouged.
and it needs to stop and stop right now.
Okay.
Because I'm fucking sick of seeing Javier getting his eyes gouged out, and I don't want that.
I'm tired of it.
That should never be anybody's thing at all, is having your eye gouged out. Javier, stop. I saw Equalizer 2, his eyes gets gouged out. Just stop.
Probably one of
That shouldn't be anybody's
the worst
thing.
days to go. Oh my god.
That shouldn't be
fucking-
anybody's cliche. Stop.
The mountain gets gouged.
It's horrible.
The hound gets gouged in
Yeah.
fucking the last episode
I definitely.
of Game of Thrones.
So before I watched Game of Thrones, I definitely thought that Mountain was gonna have a way bigger impact on the show because
Disgusting.
everyone was talking about the Mountain,
yeah.
and he's like very, very side character, like
It
very
feels
side.
like really there's been so much buildup, and I mean that's probably like fucking the perils of just having a show this big and stuff, like so many expectations, and people tend to probably build their own endings and stuff, like being
Especially
invested
the
in
Mountain.
this.
He's a
Yeah.
big character in like outside of Game of Thrones. He probably had a say in how his end happened.
So not everybody's going to be happy, but it feels like a whole lot of people aren't happy with the way the season's going.
No, especially on Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Javier Bardem,
Meh.
stop with the
Stop
eye
with the eye
gouging.
gouging, buddy.
Nobody likes that. That's not compelling.
Worst way to die, worst death scene in the world that I still think about to this day sometime is American History X.
Oh yeah,
Curb stomp.
The curb stomp, the sound of this guy's mouth hitting the concrete. Oh my God, I still think about it to this day.
Horrifying. I think that scene alone is why they didn't get Edward Norton as the Hulk in Avengers. Like that scene alone would like, sorry, dude, you're way too real. We got to get someone like 13 going on 30. What's his name? Who's the new Hulk? What's his name?
Oh.
That smiles and everything.
What is his name?
Mark
oh my God,
Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo, yeah. I saw a mean tweet about him. About how, really, Mark Ruffalo? That's the face you're gonna make? It really spoke to me because watching the Avengers Endgame, he was smiling through the whole thing. Like, that's his only face, is him smiling about some shit. Okay, so Game of Thrones, Season 6, Episode 5. Hodor.
Eric, this is it.
So we're gonna talk over it so we don't have any audio. You see Hodor.
Yes.
Hodor in the dark. People are getting stabbed. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Talk about blue balls too. White
This
balls.
bitch
This
dies.
whole White Walker thing. Oh my God.
Oh,
Didn't end
yeah.
up going anywhere really.
No, nowhere.
But that's George R.R. Martin's thing, right? Is you
Yeah.
die for
Oh,
no
this part.
reason at
Go.
all.
Ghost.
I can't
Get
watch
him,
this.
Ghost!
I can't watch it.
Oh yes.
Does the dog fucking die?
Oh,
It's not Ghost.
Well, that's fucked up. Why would I want to watch this show?
Just wait. Keep watching.
why did I watch that?
Why would I want to watch this?
Oh wait. By the way, this character, he only says Hodor the whole time. He can only say his name.
Yeah,
It's
hold the
Hodor.
door. Hold the door.
You know, I thought that there was something to this theory about the Night King and Bran because they do look similar. Max von Sydow, he's the man.
We're not getting
Yeah, we're fine. People do this all the time.
We're good. We just gotta keep talking
Just gotta
over
keep talking.
it.
over it.
Ice King.
The Ice King man.
This is dark. I can't see shit. It paused. Oh wait. I hate any show that kills the fucking dog off. Fuck
Right?
you.
Oh,
Just eat shit.
Talk about a way.
every dog off.
Yeah.
Na 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 na. Da, 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 da. Na 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 na.
Brutes.
Na, na.
And with with Ghost too, like fucking when they send Ghost with was it Tomar up north and stuff. There's not a good vibe between Jon Snow and Ghost, who's been there since the fucking beginning.
But you know, people just fucking die.
Well, it's because there are CGI problems. Too expensive to make the.
Grimm's just like that, you know. You do some shit and you fucking die at the end.
part. It's coming. Oh my god.
Let me get some Kleenex.
Hold the
Want some
door.
Kleenex, buddy. Oh my god.
Hold door.
Hold the door. Dude, this is fucking. Oh. Ah! This is just like the Lion King all over again.
Oof.
I cried. I cried on this part. Yeah, goosebumps. Goosebumps.
Hold the door.
Things got so quiet all of a sudden. See?
Ooh. That's fucking sad.
Yeah, I like when it all comes together here. Oh my. so good. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fuck you, George.
Dude.
Fuck you for making me care.
He's too real, man. He's too real.
That is too much. I have tears in my eyes right now.
Yeah, so sad.
That's sad, man. He's a phenomenal writer.
Yes.
It makes you feel things that are present in your life that you just don't have the guts to feel, you know?
Yeah. Hopefully he can fucking finish his vision of everything. Get it all
Doubtful.
done. There's a petition online to have them refilm season 8. Just wipe this.
That's
past
not gonna
season
happen.
Canon.
All right. I think we should end this shit.
Okay.
All right.
That's probably a good way to call it.
Hold the door.
Hold the door. It all comes back to
All right.
hold the door.
Hold the door, man. It was great. Great podcast. We're gonna follow up this
Wrap it
Game
up.
of Thrones conversation next week.
Yeah, after the last episode of the series, stay tuned for that on the John Sandwich Show.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to wait for tomorrow to watch it.
Wink, 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 wink.
wink.
But you know, it's been a great podcast. We talked about a lot of good things, a lot of crazy
A
things.
lot of emotional things.
Yeah, which is good. You know, you guys should definitely let us know your opinions in the comment section below. Give us some random questions because we're doing the random questions pretty much weekly.
Mm-hmm.
So give us some of your own questions that you want answered.
Yeah, we have a habit of making it very philosophical during the end there.
Yeah.
So like the last half of the John Sandwich Show is usually some philosophical shit. So
Yes.
any compelling argument you want to make, please comment that below and we will talk about it.
Just let us know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, we are an open book. We love talking about shit. So just
Yeah, we're not held back by like some corporate contract or whatever, so we'll really talk about anything.
yeah,
Yeah.
just let us know. So the John Sandwich Show, episode like 14, 15, 16, whatever it is.
Season
One of those.
By the way, I do have to apologize. The last few episodes on YouTube have been either shit auto quality or just too much for me to edit. So we will get this episode on YouTube. Sorry about that, but you can find us on any other podcast site just to get the audio only. So
Yeah.
Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful.
All right.
All right. Till next time, guys.
Yep.
Hold the door.
Hold.
Hold the door. Hold door.
Hold
door. Hold door.
Hold the
Hold door.
door. I'm sad now.